Okay. Hello and welcome to the fan cams. After the Blues, well, they win. They win 10 goals, 15, 75 to 9 goals, 17, 71. I feel like I've been run over. It's got to be easier than that. It just has to be. It can't. Why does it have to be like that? Why does it have to be so stressful? I'm a little bit stunned, to be honest. I'm not really sure how we won that game, if I'm being totally honest. And I feel so much stress. But they needed the win, and they got the win. And this is the fan cams, and we will unpack absolutely everything that happened. Yeah, they definitely did put us through it. So, yeah, if you'd like to join the fan cams and call in, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. Just got to click it, and then you will be in the waiting room. We'll start with Riley on the other side of the world. Hello, Riley.
This club continues to amaze me with just everything we do.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the fact that you probably felt like that script was coming, but in the manner that it did, and we hold on. I guess, the main thing is we got the victory, but that was incredibly unconvincing, and if anything, that brings a lot more questions than answers, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it ran the script of really what we've seen for a while. Strong start, strong first half, second half fade out, we'll call it. Third quarter kick, no goals for that quarter. And I mean, you just hold on. I mean, obviously Richmond were wasteful, we were wasteful. You're watching on screen, right? Today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm there, and I mean, I'm not saying anything that none of us haven't seen before, but the panic and the lack of composure is just it plagues them. It really does.
Yeah, it does, and it's you mentioned the strong start, and it comes back to what Doc said. What we've all said is that when the game is on and the pressure's up, and early in the contest, that is where we thrive. But as soon as Richmond, yeah, and the signs were there even in the first quarter. I thought as strong as we started, they were getting numbers ahead of the ball quite consistently. They just weren't finishing it off. And then after half time, when our pressure ratings drops off, they start getting their uncontested mark game going. We looked all at sea. The one thing I probably, you can say is that with the amount of inside 50 supply they ended up, I think, plus 17.
Yeah.
Is that at least the entries, by and large, we did force them wide. I think the coaching staff is incredibly lucky that Tom Lynch didn't have his kicking boots on, because that, the lack of usage on Jacob Wiedering when Lynch started getting off the chain, I think will be debated even in the, after this for weeks, because it was that obvious on screen that Lynch was continuing to get meterage. He was starting to get on top of Young, and we just weren't moving. And I know he's sort of playing that sort of, zone off defender, basically trying to impact the contest. But yeah. I mean, if you've got other takeouts for tonight, we've got two most recent number 3 picks are absolute rippers. They are going to be incredible footballers for us a long time. And again, similar to last week, probably showed more composure than 80% of the senior players.
Yeah, it's a
which
really,
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
It's a really tough one, because you don't want to take away from their experience. I mean, they're at the start of their careers. They get their first win. You want to build spirit. You want to make sure that it's, the stress that everyone's feeling over the residual effect over the last however long it's been. You don't want it to infect the youth, because then the cycle continues. So you want to be excited for them. You want to be happy for them. You also want to be really honest around how the team plays and the way that they move the ball and the way that they really just are unable to handle the pressure, and so it's a really tricky one because clearly it's just such a stressful experience as a fan. It must be a stressful experience for them too.
Well, but this has been going on for years now. Like
Mm.
realistically, if you sort of you can trace back scars. It's been over 2 years. You could argue since that prelim 3 years ago where you coughed up, and ever since then, there's sort of been these mental blocks where we start relatively strong, and then we just fade away. There was a stat on during the game where we're fifth in point differential since opening round last year in the first half, and like in second half we're like 13th, 14th.
Yeah.
So it's just, which is not a shock to us watching it, but it just shows the drop off is alarming. Now, that preparation? Is it purely mental? Is it tactical adjustments or lack thereof? A combination of all of it. But I think the good thing, if you can take outside of the winter course, the good thing now is that we do have a bye, and that what has been such a pressurized pre-season and a pressurized opening 2 weeks in terms of external noise, that can temper a little bit, and maybe we can reset. Doubtful, based off of the exposed form of the club over the last couple of years. But that's one thing we could potentially take away, because now we've got 17 days till we play Melbourne. It is very good going in 0-2, and who knows? Who knows? Realistically, the signs are. I think what we can say is there is a noticeable shift in the game style, particularly early in games. Like that use of handball is, at times looks quite lethal, but we can't sustain it. Now, will that sustain, as there's more chemistry with the players? Potentially. Or is it something that, is quite easily adjustable from oppositions at halftime?
Yeah, I think one of my main things there is, I mean, when they eventually started figuring out anytime that they used the width of the ground and created space for themselves, things started to look better for them. It's just a matter of how are they going to be able to implement that when the pressure comes? Because that third quarter, it's the default action, isn't it? Pressure down the line. Maybe it's the percentage play, get a stoppage, force it out of bounds. Then one mistake becomes two, becomes three. Then it's I don't want to make the mistake, and it's infectious. And it's a job for the coaches. But I'm glad we fell over the line and it wasn't the loss.
Yeah, I am too, and I think one thing I hope, and it's again cycles and breaking. If you look, obviously, we mentioned Harry Dean and Jagger, of course, and their composure, but even the likes of Will Hayward, I actually thought Ollie Florent played a really good game tonight, really composed game tonight under the fire. At times, I thought Ainsworth had some key moments. So my hope is that those players being ingratiated into this system can almost over time bring a level of calmness with how we play. And that could potentially be it. But it's about the most unconvincing 1-1 start you can imagine, really, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. But I'd much rather be 1-1 than 0-2, I guess.
Yeah.
So
that's what we can do. But Melbourne in 17 days, gotta turn up there in a couple of weeks. That's another winnable game. A game we should. I mean, we haven't seen Melbourne play yet, but should win. So that pressure of expectation will be there, and it'll be good to see how we can handle it. And by the way, loving the new ResStream platform. Looks quite sharp, my friend.
Thank you. No, I think we had some issues with the sound before, but I think it's been fixed up. Mate, thank you very much for calling in from the other side of the world. It's always good to chat with you.
Until next time when we all stress out. Go Blues.
Go Blues. All right. Next up, let's go. Andy. Hello, mate.
You got your voice, so that's one thing, Tez.
Oh, mate, I didn't have much to say in the second half.
Is it bad that you just it's an expectation now? Like it's an expectation that we're going to start well and then fade out, and that's it. It kills the novelty of going to the footy. Like it kills it because you're like, I hope it doesn't happen this weekend, but it's probably going to happen. And
Yeah, we were watching the VFL today, and someone made a comment today about so in the second quarter, Richmond got on top in the VFL, and someone made a comment which I think resonates through to the seniors as well, and it's we make mistakes and we force ourselves to work even harder to rectify the mistake, already harder than what we're already working, and I just couldn't help but feel that was the case in that third quarter. Richmond momentum was always going to be in their favour, and there was a big question mark around how the Blues would handle it. And yeah, we definitely got away with one there.
Looking at the ball magnets breakdown of our game style has changed a little bit, but we're still positioning our players very similar. So when it comes to the third quarter, our players are spent for a reason, because we're still playing this heavily getting players out around the ball, contested style. Are we overlapping and hand passing more? Yes. But we're still positioning our players where it's this rough, physical, throw your players in there, get the ball, get to the contest, get more guys around the contest. Then when the third quarter comes around, you can see they're not running anymore. And all teams do is they keep players to the side of where our players are, and we keep them all centralized.
Yeah.
And then they get that easy overlap run, and that's when they get the easy inside 50s. So, there's a lot of talk about our game style changing, but ultimately, in essence, there's a lot of similarities, which I think is causing, the fatigue and the ease of the opposition to get the ball out into clear space past us really easily. How much does a goal lift your team, right?
It just releases pressure, doesn't it?
And Fogarty, you're 10 meters out, just kick the goal, bro. He has a look when he goes for a goal. He did that awesome tackle, reward yourself. You've done all the good things. Just do the easy thing. Just kick a 10-meter drop punt. Aren't you a footballer? And he just has a look on his face. He's like, I don't want to kick this. And it's like, well, if you don't want to kick it, you're probably going to miss.
Yeah, it was such an interesting passage of play, because you're right. He did. The hard thing was earning the free kick. And obviously that's his strength right there. His forward pressure. That's a big reason why he plays games. So he's done that, and he's just. And I was sitting in front of a Richmond gentleman. We were sort of all in good spirit, going back and forth. And as soon as he missed it, I turned to him and I said, "I don't know how you'll do it, but I know that Richmond you'll kick a goal here. I don't know how it's going to happen." And I think it was Lawler down the other end. They eventually went down there, and it's one of those unwritten rules in footy. You miss a goal like that, team on the other team goes down the other end and kicks a goal. And yeah,
happens all the time.
There's got to be a way to get them. It's psychological. There's got to be a way to get them thinking about opening up the ground and making it easier for themselves when the pressure comes. It's easy to see it. It's easy to say it. But yeah, they really just clam up on the field.
It was well documented tonight. The thing that we changed tonight that we didn't do against Sydney is we knew that they were going to get us on the outside. So then we pushed them to the wing, and we actually allowed them to kick mark, but instead of the middle of the ground, we let them go on the wing. So they were having all their shots from the, from tough angles. It was really could you feel the wind? It looked windy. Or was it okay?
Yeah, I mean there were times throughout the game where it was definitely windy, but it did settle down a bit. It rained on and off, sort of looked heavy for a moment, then it would stop. I actually was, in a weird way, I was happy when the rain came, because I thought it would suit the way we would kick the ball.
Yeah, because the players were complaining about the conditions. They were saying it was difficult because the wind kept changing angles. At the start of the game, it was one thing, and then second quarter it was different. So they were struggling to find their bearings. But that in essence helped us get the win, because they couldn't kick to save their lives, and neither could we. How many misses did Tom Lynch only kicked a goal when he got a bullshit free kick for it? So but in saying that, if things changed and it was better conditions, we would have got smoked like we did last year. So, happy for the win, but far out. It's just, it's just like, come on, guys.
Stress. Like it comes with such a toll. It felt like I was coming on the train home tonight. I sat on the train. I sort of sat back, and I was just like, yeah, winning's good, but look at what it takes to win a game against, no disrespect to Richmond, but they're obviously not a contender, and nor are we. But it's like, look how hard it was to win that game against a team in that bracket in the competition. So it's just, I don't know. I guess winning's not easy for anyone, but I don't know if teams make it look as hard as what we do.
No, I think we're probably, if there's a gold star for making a game look hard to win, it's definitely us.
Oh my goodness.
There's definitely mental demons in our team. Like, it's like every team's got a team psych.
Yeah.
Whoever our team psych is, we need 3 or 4 more and better ones.
Yeah.
Because they've literally got demons. Like, it is a thing now. Halftime's going to come, boys, and you can see them saying, guys, we've got to lift this quarter, and then what happens? So it's definitely inbuilt now into their DNA. And you mentioned it with the last caller. Like, the thing that I hate about our team at the moment is we're getting good players in, and we're poisoning them with our bullshit. Like, look how good Smith was today. Like, he's so fucking good. He's just such a good player. Don't poison him. Don't freaking poison him with your bullshit.
Well, and that's the tricky thing, because, yeah, there is this frustration and, fair enough. And there is all this stress. As I said earlier to Riley, I mean, you don't want Jagger to feel it and infect him. You don't want Harry Dean to feel it and infect him, because otherwise the cycle will just repeat and they'll get to 25 and start looking like 30-year-olds like some of the others.
That's the part that I hate about where we're at the moment. It's like, even people like, Ainsworth and Haywood and those types of players, I'm like, these guys, like, they're not, Ainsworth maybe not, because he's come from Gold Coast, who had it tough for a long time, but Haywood, Florent, like, they're not used to just being freaking a joke. They're not used to being a joke of a club. So it would hurt them to go through all the bullshit and listen to all the crap that's being mentioned at the moment. And unfortunately, the only way you can change a narrative is by playing well and winning and doing it consistently, not getting sucked into this 2-quarter bullshit that we're caught in. So look, I won't suck up too much more of your time, Terry, because I know you've got a lot of quarters, but we got the win. Hopefully we don't get another freaking recording of an ex-player talking about how we shouldn't have won that game in the next 2 weeks, so we can just have some clear air on the road to Melbourne. Then we prepare for Melbourne and we win that game as well. I think we just need a bit of radio silence from people.
Just stack the wins.
Yeah.
Just stack them.
Stack it. That's it. That's
it. Well said. Mate, thank you very much for that.
Have a good night.
See ya.
See you.
That was very good. That was a very good one there. All right. Liam. Hello, mate.
No way, Terry.
It's been a long time, mate.
It's been a fucking while, hasn't it? I don't have the Wolverine anymore.
I've got the
mullet instead, mate. We're going to go one way or another.
Talk to me.
I was at the Carlton Sydney game last week.
Yep.
Very hard to process. The first half, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, mate, this is gonna be our year."
Yeah.
And then the next 65 to 80 minutes,
right,
I sat there and I copped it left and right from every single Swan supporter.
What about tonight, though?
Tonight, it was good. It was good. The thing that I am liking the most is the guys that are maybe, like, let's say, first game to 20 games. they're the blokes that are impressing me the most. Obviously, you got your George Hewitts, you've got your Sam Walshes that are playing very well, but then you got your Harry Deans, you got your Jagger Smiths. That kid's going to be a star, and you're sitting there going, look, we're in good hands. The first half, and I think that's what we've been for the last 2 weeks. We're first half stars. The club just looks as if we look so good in the first half. The second half, what happens? What happens at halftime? I don't know. I can't see our game. I don't know if it's game plan or it's just personnel or what.
I really do think it's ability to handle stress
And pressure.
and pressure. It's
Yeah.
it's ability to find composure and
It
make the right
is.
decision.
And look,
Because you can't see game plan when you can't hit a target. So
exactly
you can have the
right.
best game plan on paper in the world, but if you cannot hit a target, then you don't know what you're trying to do. You don't know what they're trying to do if they're turning the ball over.
I completely fucking agree with you. But the thing is, sometimes it's not just game plan. It's we've got a very youthful, or not a very youthful team, but we have a couple of young players in key positions in our team. We've got a young player in our fucking back line. We've got a young player in our half back line. We've got a young player in our mids. We've got a young player in our forwards. And sometimes they don't do the greater good.
Right.
So it's very hard for us to come out of our back line when you got Harry Dean and co just doing or making decisions that are might not be the worst decisions, but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just the decisions that you can't
Yeah.
do 50-50s on.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Mate, good to hear from you. Thanks for calling in.
Love to see for you, mate. PFAFL every day.
Is that you?
PFAFL.
Ah, good stuff. See you, mate.
Love ya.
All right. Travis. Hello, mate.
How are we, Terry?
We are stressed. That's how we are.
No, I guess tonight was just one of those lessons where it taught me a little bit that, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And yeah, look, I don't get stressed much anymore. Usually my heart would be racing in previous years, but tonight it was just like, yeah, it's kind of like clockwork. I kind of saw it coming. I guess we could pull out some positives. Definitely, as everyone's saying, with the likes of Harry Dean and Jagger Smith, I really love watching Jagger play. I have never seen a kid like Jagger play for us previously. Like no one's ever been like that. One noticeable, like something that does need to sort of which you will get out of his game. And he will improve on it as he gets more games in the coming years. And that I love how he likes to use all of his time with the ball in hand, but sometimes he uses too much of it, and he ends up disposing the ball every single time as he gets bumped or sort of dragged down on a tackle and that. I'm like, Jagger, you're electric in that, but let's just try our best to measure our time using the ball a little bit better, because every single time I saw him with the ball in hand tonight, he just kept on getting knocked left, right, and center. But yeah, no, it's a learning curve for him, but no, he's super exciting. I just love how he gets his hands dirty. I do want to talk about another player though. I'm not going to be as sort of critical of them, although I can see how justified it is. And that's Lewis Young. He did take that mark in the dying seconds of the game, helped us sort of get over the line a bit. But that many times tonight, infringing, against Tom Lynch and that, and it just, like, the thing about Lewis Young, I defended him at the end of last year because he had a year or so left on his contract, and I said that he is potentially a good, like, backup, like a good depth player. He could potentially be a utility as well. Like, you can throw him at certain, like, back and forth, and I believe he has that capability, but he's not, like, he always seems like he should be a last resort. He's not. He doesn't gel well in that side with Wiedering and that. He just doesn't gel. There's something about him when it's one-on-ones. He always seems to be in the wrong positions. The communication, the decisions, and that. Like, I can understand why people are frustrated. He can do some good things, but he can be very, like, clumsy, and he just gets in those wrong positions. So what did you think of Lewis Young tonight?
Yeah, I think he struggled a bit. Yeah, definitely think it got to him. And I mean, look, when the ball's coming in the way it is, the work done ahead of him by his teammates and the way that the ball was turned over doesn't help him, puts him in a tough position. But then when he's giving away some of the free kicks that he did and, having those brain fades there, I think it just compounds the whole conversation. And look, this is just brutal. I mean, today Wade Dirksen had a cracking game in the twos. And so he pushed, they took him off at halftime, and I thought he was the most dominant Carlton player on the field, even though he played for a half. And so there's an option there. Nick Haynes played a half. I don't know if he's available for the next game. I don't know if he needs a little bit more time. But yeah, I don't want to make this about Lewis Young, and I think it's a very easy conversation to have there. And I think it's just a very easy conversation so far. I mean, Jagger and Harry Dean's a very easy thing to point to. I think Matt Carroll hasn't had a word said about him so far. I thought he showed some really positive signs tonight, played on the wing a little bit. And yeah, I liked how he played, given, he had such a limited preparation. But yeah, mate, it's a win, and it's stressful.
Yeah.
And it's a tough one. And this is Carlton football. It's stressful.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like, there was a few players tonight that I say, Young wasn't definitely on his own, but it was just very noticeable tonight, given the amount of opportunities that Tom Lynch had for a set shot, and getting a French a couple of times and kicking goals from very close distance, and it was just a bit of a concern there. But there was a number of other players which were very noticeable tonight with their mistakes. So it comes to show how much of it is a team issue. Now, I'm gonna, before I go, and I'll leave you to talk with others.
Yeah.
Call me a bit of a conspiracy theorist here. My brother, who is a Collingwood supporter, came up to me tonight, and he said to me after the match, I don't entirely believe him here. I don't agree with him, because he is a Collingwood supporter and that. So, but he was saying to me that the way in which Carlton played tonight, and I will admit they do exhaust themselves very quickly, and it justifies that after half time. But the fact that we only kicked one goal, and almost kicked no goals in the second half, and just the fact that
theory.
Sorry,
what's the conspiracy theory then?
My conspiracy theory is that there could be every possibility, given the fact that I think Carlton is, like many clubs, is genuinely frustrated with the AFL at the moment, given the rule changes to the draft bidding. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some times where Carlton and the boys might purposely throw some games in this year just to net a better draft pick in terms of the Cody Walker bid. Now, I know well and truly that it might look safe as of now, and we're seeming to be like on the edge of the top 10, but it wouldn't surprise me, because the AFL, these last minute decisions and that, and I think Carlton, in terms of the upper levels and that, they're genuinely frustrated, and they maybe gets down to communication, gets down to the team and that. Look, it seems crazy, but it kind of justifies it. My brother was saying it was because of the coach and that, but I'm like, yeah, I don't think so, because I think Graham Wright is kind of looking elsewhere as we speak, looking for other potential better options for a coach moving. Like, I respected his decision to see Voss out for the final year, but I just think he's looking elsewhere. And it's more so, I think they might throw some games in this year because it better positions them for a better draft pick to put forward for Cody Walker, because they really rate the kid.
Okay.
It seems pretty good kid.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. It seems all crazy. So I'll just leave it at that.
hey, we won
I'll
a
let
game
you
of
go,
football
Terry.
tonight, and I thought we almost lost it. So, mate, in the world of Carlton, everything is crazy, mate. So it's
Without a doubt.
it is what it is.
All good, Terry. I'll let you go, and I'll let you chat with some other blue baggers.
Thanks, Travis.
No worries.
Tony.
Oh, there we are. How we doing, Terry? How do you feel? I felt nothing. I genuinely felt nothing. I was standing there in the pocket when Williams kicked that goal, and it felt nothing. I did not. It sounds bad. I did not feel any joy.
I felt, I guess it was a bit of relief. It was, this is going to sound very strange. With about a minute 30 to go, I turned to who I was with, and I'm like, I just get this feeling we're just going to fall over the line. Like, it just, Tom Lynch, what did he kick?
2-7.
2-7. At one point, he was 1-6. And I'm like, there's just something weird about all of this. Obviously, 12 months ago, we lose the game. And I was just like, I just felt we're going to fall over the line. So there was a feeling of relief. It's just stressful. But I mean, call me negative. I've just conceded that we're just not a contender. And you're going to get really frustrating watches like this quite a few times this season. Like, it's going to happen again, particularly early while the dust settles. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of pressure. I saw it on Michael Voss's face at 3/4 time after the huddle. He's just on edge. I can see it on his face. There's just a lot of stress. And, you know, I'm not surprised that we're stressed like this, because it's just what I've come to know. It's almost like I'm comfortable in the stress because I know it so well. And everyone can say, oh, I've never seen anything like that before. Yes, we have.
We have. Better than ever, you know. So for me, looking at that game, the quarter one was like, all right, we are on here. We're moving the ball well. We controlled a bit. We were kicking goals. We were kicking straight. So I was like, yes. All right, cool. Have we turned a corner? We've learned to firing. But we've seen this script before. Quarter two, we kicked 3 goals, missed a couple of opportunities, come back in the game. And, you know, Flaccid Green and a few other Richmond players had just turned it on. And I was just like, oh, here we go again. Ryan Mansell, Bolter was starting to, you know, arc up a bit. And I was like, okay, you can start to feel it. But we kicked 3 or 4. You can see the start to turn. Then half time, I'm like, we're not going to do it again, are we? We're not going to fall. We're not going to fall in the second half again. But as we know from round 1, 2024, I think we are bottom 3, maybe bottom 2 for second halves in scoring. And it happened again. We kicked 1 goal. What?
We were 9-9 at halftime, and we ended on 10-15. So 1-6 in the second half.
1-6. And what are the magnets that we saw moved? So half time we kept it together, but the only 2 major ones that I saw were Govan forward worked well at the start, then died off. Then he threw Kemp back there in the 3rd quarter and 4th quarter. We saw Williams go forward in the 4th. Hey, it worked because he kicked the goal, but the inside forward, I know we're going to be looking at this throughout the whole year, and we're changing the game style. I know the cattle's not going to be there. So we are going to see these games more often. We're going to see these, and you and me are the same. We're the same age, and we just come to expect it. We've just come to expect, the hope is there. We were sitting there at 3/4 time, just go, yeah, this is done. The same fumbles. And I know, yes, it was swirly. I was sitting at the bottom level. The wind was absolutely playing funny buggers. The rain, look, the drainage is pretty good. Get some grippo on there. The rain wasn't torrential. It drained pretty well, so it wouldn't have affected that much. But some of the decision-making, we had McGovern playing ring around a rosy in that 3rd quarter when he should have handballed and given hands, and he got tackled, then led to a holding the ball, missed opportunity. We overpossessed it a fair bit. The pressure, the pressure was such that these guys don't know what to do, and they just crumble. And that comes with training, but it also comes in in game, finding yourself in those positions. And how do we have the cattle? Do we have the mental fortitude? Do we have the leaders to stand up to play that possession game? There was some to be able to then, let's take a breath here, let's take a mark, let's take a absolutely bananas. Yeah. And then we sagged off, and they came at us. We defended so much, and lucky Lynch couldn't kick that third quarter. Right, 2 goals, 6, but we sagged off, let them in, invited them in. They held up well, but Jesus, we make breathing difficult. If they were in a room of oxygen tanks, they would make breathing difficult. It is frustrating to watch, but we're used to it.
So when I watched the Western Bulldogs beat Brisbane last week, and I mean even Collingwood against St Kilda, but the thing that these good teams are really able to do is absorb pressure and kick their way out of it. And I reckon maybe the first kick from D50 out, like we can find that one. Sometimes we can find the second one, and then as soon as that ball passes halfway, finding that short kick is no longer a priority for them, and they invite the pressure, and it's. Again, I'm just a fan on the other side of the fence, and I'm sure they know inside their heads, like, yep, I should be using the width of the ground, creating space, because that's what Richmond did. They used the width of the ground, they created separation, they created space, and they made it harder to defend. And for all the talk about Carlton fading out, like, yes, the scoreboard faded out for Carlton. I actually thought we were made to work harder in the second half than the first half because of how many turnovers and errors we made. So I don't think fitness was an issue. I think execution and skill was the issue, and you get no scoreboard reward for any effort. And we're just, we look pretty like we're just battlers out there.
Yeah.
They mean well, they try hard, but you need to have a level of skill and quality and precision about the way you move the ball in the game today. Otherwise, you're not going to go far.
No, and we saw, you're right, I think it was that second to last goal that Richmond got, where they basically walked it from the kick in. All along the Shane Warne stand, kick, and then I can't remember who kicked. It might have been Lynch free kick, or there was another one, but they just walked it through. I'm just like using the width of the ground, chip. For us, there was some times in that last quarter where Pitnet was our only chaser in the forward 50. If Taylor Byrne doesn't get the debut against Melbourne with the 2 pickets going against us, he'll probably kick 5 goals each against us. The lack of forward pressure, like we had 1 tackle from Ainsworth, and we had 2 tackles from Lord. Like, Dean didn't have one. He tried hard, but he didn't jump. I noticed some of the things he did. I was watching the back line, 2 quarters there, but he would let Wiedering jump, or he'd let Young jump. He was a bit hesitant because he'd let the seniors go when he could have easily, as we saw in Sydney, he could have easily spoiled a couple of them. Florent had none, but no tackles. But again, running halfback flanker. The Hollands brothers had 1 each, right? And Elijah had some absolute howlers again. And Lord, after getting 11 tackles against the Lions, had, I think, 1 last week maybe, and then 2 or none. There you go, and 2 today. So there's obviously the tackle pressure there. The cattle isn't there. They are battlers, but we're just going to be seeing these tough, hard game. We make the easy difficult, and I think that's one of the frustrating things, because I watched every game over the opening round after paying a fortune to go to Sydney and watch that abomination, and then I watched Ed Richards absolutely carve them up, and we don't have that. And look, we tried with Assad and we tried with the Williams, and they put him in the midfielder. You look at most good AFL teams; they have a myriad of those halfback flankers. They're not all going to be as good as an Ed Richards or a Houston when he was at Port, but I just don't see it on our list. Yes, Florent, yes, cool. But the options, we'd kick that inside 45 kick, or we'd kick it long. Okay, Wiedering was an option. Dean took one. Dean got knocked down by, we were kicking to the Ponce end. He got smashed by Lynch. Lynch landed on him. He got up and made that option for Florent because no one else made an option that kick in. And that was about a 50 meter from the Olympic stand pocket all the way to the Warne flank. Like, we got a kid doing that in his second game. So they are really trying, but I think we're going to, as fans, really struggle and get so frustrated and lose our brain cells and more grey hairs watching this, because I think the preseasons build hopium. They do. And we're Carlton fans and we haven't seen any success really. And we as fans, we will always overestimate our players. We just will. But we are going to see a lot of games like that and where we're over-expecting. We think, yeah, we'll walk it in because why not? But look at where Richmond are as a club versus where we are. Look at the kids that are out there and they had more pace, more intent. They showed a bit of fight about them. Like we just look so cooked. It's been 2 games, and I know last week was humid, but we looked like off our feet. And I was like 4 rows from ground level. They just were struggling. And then when they got that switch on the other side, we couldn't cover. Like, yeah, I think we're going to have some hard watches this year.
Yeah, we are. I'm ready. I don't want it, but I'm also have been forced to become a bit more realistic this year. I just sort of am able to zoom out a little bit more this time around. I mean, you just sort of zoom out. Like, what are we doing? What are we building for? It's not for right now. It's not for this year. And maybe that's just, lowering my standards and accepting mediocrity. Maybe it is, but I just look at the makeup of everything. There's a lot of issues that still need to be fixed. We only started making the hard choices and the hard decisions last year. So there's still more to make, still more to come. And yeah, we've just got to, we've made a lot of changes to this list. There are some good signs from some players, but obviously, it's tough to talk about individuals. And, at some point on these fan cams, I'd like to talk about how, Mark Pidnick continues to look really fit. I'd like to talk about how, Matt Carroll first game in looked really solid. At some point, I would hope we start talking a little bit more about, Sam Walsh, gritting it out, copped a knock, kept going. Like, I get it. I understand. Like, it was a stressful night.
100%. I think you're right. And we did have some positives. Like I will say, Jagger, again, he was running circles around it. Yes, he had some moments with the ball where he screwed it up, but he's a second game kid coming off an ACL when some of the teammates aren't exactly coming with him. Walsh he had a nice shiner there, but he didn't stop trying. Hewitt had his moments, but got stuck on the bench for a bit. Cripps had the touches, but he just doesn't seem himself. He doesn't. I know. Is it the origin thing? McCluggage got injured with a calf and a couple of other bits and pieces. Look, Chesser. I'm going to put my ass on the line. I'm going to say Young, Chesser, and Fogarty get dropped for the Melbourne game, and we bring in your boy Dirksen, Akers, and Byrne because we just need some forward pressure. Dirksen needs to get rewarded, and some senior bodies with Akers coming in to do that. But on that, I think one of my worries about Carlton, and we do need to keep the positivity because I think, as we've spoken about earlier, off field, I think we're much better with Wright and Davies. But one of my worries is that we're trying to catch up to a modern game style. And by the time we get to that game style, guess what? Brisbane's probably knocked off a couple of flags. Richmond's already there. Hawthorn's already there. They have already got the cattle there. And I'm excited. And again, I know we're round 1, but I'm already looking at the end of the year going, we get to free up a fair bit of salary cap. We get to basically say sayonara or cheap deals to a Williams, to a Haynes, to a Newman, to a lot of that. Bring in Cody Walker with some picks and stuff and go again with another year into Cowan, another full year into Dean, hopefully Ho-Farrell. So there's some pieces there for 2027, 2028. But my worry is that by the time we get there, Cripps is gone, Wiedering might go. And is our game style up to scratch by the time whatever football looks like in 2028, 2029? And that's what I liked about Hawthorn. They copped it. They copped that knock on the chin and they said, we're going to go young, but Mitchell is very smart. And he's like, we're going to build a game plan that people are going to have to chase in 2 or 3 years, right? And yes, they didn't add merit, but they'll still be thereabouts.
Yeah.
The last time Carlton had an assistant coach get a promotion that someone actually poached was 2002. And you have a guess who those 2 people were?
Who? Ratton?
Ross Lyon. No, Ross Lyon was an assistant coach in 01 and John Worsfold.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? So Carlton have never been that club that is always at the forefront of the game. The old days, yes, but in terms of game plan, game style, football IQ, yes, we usually we go for the brand name, but that Mitchell way is so un-Carlton-like.
Yeah.
And I worry that we won't, by the time we get there, whatever that modern version of the game is, will we just, and then Tassie coming in to take some more of 12 of the best 17-year-olds,
Yeah.
will the timing screw us like it sort of did in 2013-14 with Gold Coast and GWS? That's my half worry. But I do believe there are some pieces there.
Yeah.
Dean, Jagger, we'll get some years out of Haywood and Florent. Lord just signed for 3 years. Carroll, yes, very good. Nice on the left foot.
Yeah.
Skull had his moments. Kemp, really tried and did have some groundwork as well.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have to, you're not accepting mediocrity. I think at our age, mate, we just have seen a lot and we realize we just got to zoom out a bit and take it for what it is.
Well said, my friend. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, mate. I'll see you. Well, we'll probably have one next week, but I'll see you for the Melbourne game, and I'll be back in London. So I'll call in from London.
Blue abroad. All right. See you there.
Thanks,
Fred.
Terry. Cheers.
Bye. Hey, Joe. I told you.
What'd you tell me?
I said we'll win.
You happy?
No.
I have felt better after losses. I genuinely think I felt better after losses.
I still take a win over a loss because it's weird, right? Really, just strip it back for 1 second. Just try and picture what this conversation and this feeling is like tonight if we lost tonight.
Oh, mate. Yes, it would be. It would be a very different energy. Yes, but
can you run me through what your guess is as to the solution of how we can get better at making the right decisions under pressure?
I reckon instead of having a halftime break, what they should do is they just keep playing, right? So for that 20 minutes, just go like 12 versus 12. Just keep playing footy. Don't stop. And I think that then will carry momentum forward into a second half for once in the last 3 years, so that we can continue what we did in the first half, which was make good decisions under pressure.
Yeah.
Tez, the question I've got is, what the fuck happens at halftime? This is too consistent now. Honestly, mate, I gave them the benefit of the doubt again after that first half. We put 63 points on the board in a half of footy, kept them to 36. I gave them the benefit of the doubt again, thinking, you know what? We'll come out, we'll kick a few goals, we'll put them away. We've looked good. And it's the same shit, but it was somehow worse. We kicked 12 points in a half of football tonight. Like, what is going on, mate? I had people trying to say, like, it's coaching. My answer to that is, if it's coaching, I don't think we could get into a winning position in the first place. How can it be coaching and game plan and system if that game plan and system in the first half gets you to 4 goals up again?
So how many actual opportunities did we have? How many inside 50s did we have tonight?
I haven't checked any stats.
I'm going to guess without having seen it, it would have to have been over 45. If I'm just going to guess, I could be wrong.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
We had, it was 44. 44
so
inside 50s for the game. Richmond had 60. We were saved by Richmond tonight, really.
We weren't saved by Richmond, we were saved by Tom Lynch, and that is an indictment.
Yep.
I went on Instagram to post after the game, had a flick through, and I was embarrassed by some of the posts, honestly, thanking Tom Lynch for a win. Mate, if that's where we're at, if that is honestly where we're at, and we are comfortable having a laugh about that as a fan base, come on, man. Like, I spoke to Richmond supporters in some of my footy chats after the game. They were up and about. They're like, we're gonna get there, and you could see that. I can see that in their team. They're
You're
gonna get there.
stoked. You're stoked if you're Richmond, man. You
Dude.
are absolutely wrapped.
I can't remember ever leaving a game as a supporter, and as I was walking to Jollymont Station, looking at all the Carlton faces, I didn't see one bit of happiness.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, man.
Dude, what is going on?
It's sad.
How many tackles did we have tonight, Tez?
Tackles. Just a quick one. Efficiency inside 50. We were 59.1%. They were 43.3%. Anyway, tackles 53 to 49.
All right, I was better than 38. I did say I wanted to see minimum 50, but mate, like, it's just laughable. It's so laughable at this point.
I actually can't believe we led the whole game. We were in front the entire match.
Which is great. And look, you know what? If you didn't watch the game, right, and you saw the final score, actually, perfect example, I got home, my partner didn't watch the footy, but she checked the score before I got home. I walked in, she goes, congratulations, what a win. And I went, no. No. Wasn't a great win. It was a disgusting win.
Yeah, it was a gritty grind of a win, and it could have been so much easier. But at the same time, you can't say it could have been so much easier because Richmond were the ones that missed so many gettable ones.
And they also beat us 12 months ago. So anyone saying that tonight should have been more, I just look at it and go, I was expecting a loss. I told you I was expecting a loss before the game, did I not? We were staring down the barrel, mate, of 2 years straight. Complete embarrassment. The only reason that we're not more embarrassed is because the final ledger was in our favour. So happened to be, in the end, is how I look at it. We didn't do anything to deserve that in the second half. Nothing. Nothing, mate. I, honestly, before I let you go, what is your honest opinion of what happens at half time? I didn't want to believe it. I really didn't. I didn't want to believe that this was a trend. I didn't want to read into any of that, and that it was. I thought it was just more coincidence than anything. More so, probably what I would have put it down to. This is now an ingrained pattern with this group. What happens?
I think it's less about what happens at halftime. Like they know what's about to happen in the second half when the pressure's going to lift. And it's more about what happens when the pressure does come, because one mistake becomes infectious. And at some point, they've got to find a way to just turn the tide and be brave, and then make the brave kick that hits its target become infectious. And I we've all, it comes up a lot, but the psychology of the group collectively, it struggles.
So is it as simple as, if I were to simplify that, mentally, they are not tough enough? Because if one mistake leads to another, and that snowballs so quickly.
I don't know if it's toughness, it's composure.
It's almost like at the start of a game they forget what has happened previously. So it's like they reset each time. But you're right. As soon as any sort of pressure gets put on them, any sort of mistakes start to filter through. It's repeated pattern of behaviour at that point. Tez, it is crazy to watch. I was in shock at watching it unfold tonight, the way that it did. I really was. I'm at a loss. That is, I don't want to be. I'm trying not to be negative. It's a win. We're 1-1. That's great. But mate, if you're a supporter and you are, I'm usually not even in this camp. I'm usually in the camp of take a win, take 4 points is always good. But mate, if we are happy with what we're seeing at the moment, we're just, I don't know. The club's dead if that's the case. Honestly, I don't know. Anyway, thank fuck for the bye.
Hang tight, mate. There's a long season ahead.
I'm already sick of it. Oh my god. All right, mate. Good luck.
See you, bello. All right. Aiden.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, Aiden.
How are you this fine evening?
I am stressed. Oh, I'm a little less stressed now. I've started to calm down. Cortisol levels peaking not long ago.
Good. Great to hear. Oh, that's probably I've never been this angry about a win in my life.
Okay.
To be honest with you,
Tell me about it. Talk to me about it. What are you angry about?
it's just the same recurring issues that we've seen last year. Like it's rinse and repeat. Like we performed pretty reasonably well in the first half, and then it's like everyone expected what was going to happen in the second half. Like people around me were like, "Oh, we'll have to see what we do in the second half." Like no one was really confident. Like I don't think anyone that went to that game was pretty confident that we would have won. But again, I don't understand. Like what do we actually do over the preseason that's genuinely changed with our game plan? Because to me, it's the same thing over and over again. When we get the ball out of D50, just go down the wing, just make a contest out of it, and then if you get it, just kick it forward long. Richmond, we're changing angles, they're taking risks. I didn't see us do any of that in the second half at all. Like we are so lucky that we got out of jail tonight. Like if Tom Lynch knew how to kick tonight, we would have lost by 7 to 8 goals. To be honest with you, and we're pretty lucky that we do not have to verse a top 4 to top 6 side. Probably after North, because I'm telling you now, if people think that these next 2 weeks after the bye it's going to get easy, well then I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think anyone thinks it's going to get easy.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, some of our fans, a few of our supporters reckon that it's fine.
So what? So what? There's 100,000 ish members, couple 100,000 supporters. There's going to be a range of different opinions. Who cares?
Yeah,
there's like a whole scale of opinions. There's hundreds of thousands of people that follow this team in the world, and there's a range of opinions. So I think it's less important about what someone else thinks, and what's more important is how do we fix the issues on the field.
I mean, I don't know, like how do you actually fix them? Because it's the same issues that we've seen for 2 years now. You do well for a half, second half, they look tired. They literally looked so tired out there, like compared to Richmond.
I don't know if you were watching the watch along today in the VFL. There was a comment made in the second quarter because the Richmond VFL got on top and it looked pretty similar to what we saw in the third today. And around the narrative around Carlton looked like they fade out, right? I actually think we work harder in the second half than the first half because of the errors. We make so many errors, and when you make that turnover, Richmond look like they're going to, teams are going to try and punish you off the turnover. So you got to work even harder to make up for the turnover. I just think I don't know what the answer is.
No one does. Because apparently it was the players last year. Like, what is it this year? Because to me, I think that
2 games. It's 2
games.
Yeah,
I know it's 2 games, but again,
after bulk changes.
That's true, but you can't tell me that that's coaching as well.
It's everyone, mate. It's everyone. But what did you expect this year? Weren't you saying 10 to? Didn't you say 10 to 13th this year?
Yeah, I did say 10 to 13th, but with a bit of improvement, like not playing the same style of play as we did last year. Because by all reports, they said that we've changed this, we've done that, we've done this, and it looks completely the same to me. Yeah,
it's interesting because it's just when the heat of the game rises, they can't
handle the pressure.
They no longer can't. Yeah,
they cannot handle the pressure against any team. Throughout the last 2 years, we versed a team that's in their so-called rebuild, and we make them look like superstars last year and this year. Imagine if that was a top 6 team.
Well, it was a top 6 team last week.
I know. But
yeah.
Again, as you said, every time we do a mistake, it seems like it's that contagious within the playing group that if they make a mistake going into the middle, And if it's turned over, they don't want to do it again, and they just want to keep it safe.
It's hard because you watch it compounds on the field, and then it compounds in the crowd, and then it all just bubbles, and then it's just this one massive cauldron of 74,000 people. And I don't know what the split was of Carlton supporters, Richmond supporters, but you've got tens of thousands of Carlton supporters. They're just anxious. There's just a lot of anxiety out there. And I made the comment earlier. Did you see? Were you at the game tonight?
Yep.
Did you see the boys come out of the 3/4 time huddle?
Yeah, I don't think I was paying attention.
Yeah, fair. I saw it on the screen, and I saw Voss come out of the 3/4 time huddle, and just on his face, just the levels of stress. Because obviously, third quarter, we've kicked
nothing. We didn't kick a goal after half time.
4 behind in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? It was.
I think so.
I think it was 9 goals, 9 at half time, and I reckon it was 9 goals, 13 at 3/4 time. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it definitely wasn't a goal in the third. And just the stress, and yeah, and everyone's feeling it. And we're an hour into the fan cams, and it still hasn't really gone away yet.
No, because Terry, like, people are just sick and tired of watching this shit every year. Like,
I know.
Like, we thought that coming to this year, we weren't gonna do well. We weren't probably gonna make finals, but you'd think that the things that killed us last year, you think that it probably got swept away. And clearly, I get it's only 2 games, but it looks like we're in for a long year again.
We are. We are. No, like, I thought that was pretty clear that we were going to have a long year this year.
Yeah, but from these last 2 games, it just looks longer than anything at this point. But I feel like these next 2 weeks and beyond, we seriously need to not play. Yeah, probably Fogarty. I think
you could see it. Even him, stress, went back, took the shot on goal, and you could just see it. It was thinking about it. And then just worst case scenario, confidence drops. It's tough, man.
I get that, but I feel like the more Voss persists with players like that, the more it's likely that he's probably going to lose his job. I'm not saying that those players will get him sacked, but I'm saying, like, you need to try out something new. Like, I don't know how worse Taylor Byrne would have been today. I
actually think Flynn Young should be spoken about ahead of Taylor Byrne, personally. And the reason why I say that is because he's actually hitting the scoreboard consistently in the VFL. Taylor Byrne's got nice flashes, and I mean, this is just my opinion, but we were watching the VFL today, and he's got some really nice little moments. But if you want to talk about rewarding the form in the reserves, it's Flynn Young. He's ahead.
So why doesn't Voss play him?
Yeah, he could. We may very well see it happen next game. Like, Dirksen was awesome today as well. Like, we may very well see him knock down the door.
Yeah, I'd play. I mean, I'd play Dirksen, Flynn Young, Byrne. I'd play any of them. Like, just go with something new. Like, just he needs to stop persisting with players that he knows and that he's used to, because those types of players, they are slowly making him lose his job to an extent. And I feel like with Harry tonight and the last 2 weeks, is it just me, or does he sort of look out of it a little bit? He doesn't look himself at all.
He goes to ground
like
so easily.
He gets outbodied so easily. Like,
yeah, I know.
That guy, he is built like a mountain, and he doesn't use his body properly.
Have you watched the movie Dodgeball?
Sorry?
Have you watched the movie Dodgeball?
No.
Oh, fuck, you got to watch the movie Dodgeball. The coach of the dodgeball team goes to one of the guys in the team, like, so you got to get mean, you got to get angry. Yeah. And maybe that's just not in Harry's nature, but I've seen him play mean and angry. I've seen him do it. It's not like we're asking to see something from him that he's never done before. But
I get that, but
we really need him to have a level of intensity and just hunger to dominate about him, and he didn't have that tonight.
But like in his training, when I went to the open trainings, the way that he's played the last 2 weeks sort of resembled how we did our training. So I don't know if something's like, he just looks completely out of it, because in the off season, like people said, oh, it's Harry's forward line. Like we performed so better without Charlie. Like Harry performed so better without Charlie in that forward line. By the looks of it, it looks like that Harry probably performs better with Charlie. And if I'm being completely honest, that was never Harry's forward line. It was Charlie's forward line. So again, that's why I've said losing Charlie, it's probably going to kill us in the short term. And it looks like it is so far because
Of course it is, though. Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
We knew that.
But again, I'm just worried about our forward line at the moment because if you've got a ruckman who's a highest goal kicker so far in the year, which you know what? I've given so much shit to Pitto. Fucking fair play to the guy. And yeah, I'm just pretty worried about Harry, to be honest, because if he keeps this form up, then I don't know where we're going to get our goals because you need a spearhead like Harry to start hitting the scoreboard. And at the moment, I get he kicked 2 goals. I don't know where he got his second goal from, but it's just not looking that way at the moment. And look, it doesn't help when our entries are disgusting because they've been disgusting for the last 2 weeks, but he also needs to be aggressive a bit more. So, yeah, we're in for a really, really long year.
We are, mate. We are in for a long year.
And again, I don't know if it will result in the coach getting sacked. I don't know if that will help that cause at all. But again, in my opinion, I think it's coaching. But at the same time, you've got some players that have been there for 10 years. And there's been questions about their mentality over the last few years in big games, especially when the pressure's on. And you saw it tonight. And I don't understand, like, how do you get players in like Florent, Haywood, who've played in big games, who have won big games? They come to Carlton and all of a sudden they look shell-shocked of their former selves. Like, they look completely different. So, I don't know. I'm scared. Like, I'm like, who do we play next? Melbourne?
We've got a bye, and then we've got Melbourne on Sunday afternoon, 29th of March, 3:15 p.m. at the MCG.
And then we've got North.
Then we've got North. Let's just go to Melbourne and worry about Melbourne,
Yeah.
and just sort of focus on that. We haven't even seen what Melbourne look like yet. We'll get a good look at them this week.
Yeah, we'll make Cozzy Pickett kick 6 goals like he did on us last year again. But
Or we might win. I don't know.
no, we might win like tonight, maybe. I don't know. But
Would you take an ugly win against Melbourne?
I mean,
Wait, if I'd have said to you before the game tonight, would you take an ugly win against Richmond or a loss? What would you have said?
I would have said a win, obviously, because you need to win. But if we lost tonight, far out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. If we lost again, Jesus Christ. But again, if it's ugly, if it's pretty, I don't care. Like, just go out there and win. But again, you can't fault people for being disappointed.
No, of course. No, mate. I don't think there's a supporter out there that's not a little bit disappointed, at least a little bit, a lot disappointed and stressed with that win. My point is that it's a win.
Yeah, it's a win, but far out. Like, when people were leaving, like, people were pissed off. People were just very, they were very vulgar and they were very angry, and I don't really blame them. And people saying, oh, it's Voss. And you know what? Fair play. Because people have their own opinions, and, I think it is the coach. But, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think they'll make a decision on him if things go bad during the year. I think it'll probably be at the end of the year. But we'll have to wait and see.
All right, mate. Go well.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
See you, man. Jim. How are you?
Hey, mate. You hear that? It was a Carlton sigh. It's back.
Yeah.
4 points.
Yeah. Stress, man. Stress. The toll of there's a toll of a loss and there's a toll of a win.
Yeah. Look, what I will say is we're going to stop talking about Charlie and players that don't play for us anymore. Like, as sooner we start looking forward and not thinking about the past, I think we can move on. Harry is our focal point now, and we just don't use him correctly so far. But it's only the second game of the year, so we had a lot of cleaning up to do. What I found most disappointing about tonight was we just don't utilize our players in the correct manner. Like after halftime, I just felt like there was almost an arrogance from the coaching group to not change anything. And we go into our shell, we play down the line, like the quick hands that were opening Richmond up in the first half go away. We become slow. And it just reminded me of the back end of last year until we had our energetic patch right before the end of the season. And it probably kept Voss in a job. Now, I think it's too early to sack coaches. I'm not in the camp of sacking a coach. But how do we fix this? I just think we just have to try to play a fast brand of footy for 4 quarters, win, lose, or draw, and not go into our shell. Like 1 goal in a half of footy versus a team that I think will finish in the bottom 4 is not good enough. And so anyone that's saying to Carlton fans right now, be happy you've got to win. All right, we can be happy we got 4 points. We don't have to be happy with that performance. No way. That performance was dog shit. All right. And we've seen enough footy. And I'm going to say something here. I don't know what's been said because I've had to come to work to fix something, right? But I watched the game. If we lose today, that's the end of that group. That's the end of them. And I don't mean the Jaggers and the Walshes, right? It's Walsh's team. If we lose today, it would have been Walsh's team to take for the next 9 or so years. But if we lost today, that is the end of the group. It would have been the end of Harry, the end of Cripper, the end of Weeders, as sad as it is, because I think Weeders is superb, right? Because mentally, it's very hard to come back from that. It's like when we were presented an opportunity in 2022, and now I'll talk about the past, which is ironic, but we needed to beat Collingwood at least once, all right? We didn't, and it haunted us for multiple seasons until we broke it in 2023, the back end. Since then, we've fallen off a bit of a cliff, minus a decent patch of footy into 24. That is a solid body of work under Voss where I think we can now judge him. Doesn't have a plan B. Does that mean we should just sack him in round 2? No, it doesn't. We have to persist right now. We've got to give him, at least half a season because you just can't go sacking coaches. But it's incredibly frustrating. I expect nothing less than a solid performance against Melbourne next week and win. Or is it the bye next week and then we have Melbourne the week after, right? Whenever we play Melbourne, it has to be a solid performance, 4-quarter effort. I'm sorry, I don't want to just single out people, but I'd be happy to never see Lewis Young play for Carlton again. But also, the coach didn't help the bloke either. So changes needed to be made way earlier than that. And people can say Tom Lynch kicked straight, we lose, whatever. He didn't, so it doesn't matter. We still win. We still deserved to win. But that's not going to get us far, that sort of performance, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still stressed. It's
Yeah,
midnight.
man.
We're still
Yeah.
stressed.
I know. I don't know what it would have been like to be there, man, but I imagine...
It was honestly, man, it was just like grit your teeth and just...
Yeah.
It was painful. It was a painful, stressful watch. And you're looking around and you're like, why do we do this to ourselves? I mean, you do it because you just hope to see the breakthrough. And I don't know. I mean, I look at, there were some passages of play late and it was, again, I said this earlier and it's easy to say, but it's almost like the game was like trying to reward them when they would just remotely take a 45 kick, even one, and just open up the angle slightly. The game would sometimes reward them. They even did it late in the 4th quarter, opened up the angle, then switched the ball. It was actually a terrible kick. The ball dribbled out, but we ended up sort of getting the ball back in our possession. It was almost like the footy gods were telling them, like, just fucking use the width of the ground, open it up.
Yeah.
Like, it's there for you to give you more space. But they've just, they lose themselves. They get overwhelmed and they go down to what their default action is when the pressure hits, which is the percentage play down the line, get it out of bounds, get a stoppage, get a throw in. And that's
Carlton.
That's Carlton.
It's Carlton. Yeah. I'd like to see us continue using the hands though, the way we do, in the first half at least. And if we can do that, I think you can build on that because it looks good when we get those quick players like Walsh out on their bike and Jagger moving forward. Someone's just got to tell George, mate, you've got to be the one to win the footy and dish it out. I don't want to be seeing you run around and try and just kick 35-meter kicks in the air because George is better than that. And I don't think you'll see a bad game from Ollie Hollands like that again as well. So there are positives. I think we can turn it around, but we'll see, man. Early.
It's early. Got a long way to go.
Early, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you very much for calling in.
No worries, man. Good to talk to you again. See you, mate.
Too. See ya. Joseph.
Hey, Tez. How you going?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. So, are you aware of the curse of Norm Smith with the Melbourne Football Club?
I am not aware of the curse of Norm Smith with the Melbourne Football Club.
So it goes back to like the 50s, you know. I think when Norm Smith, he was like a coach for Melbourne, coached in a bunch of premierships, and then they sack him, and then that was when their patch that they had that one drought premiership stuff and all that. So I guess I'm linking into this because there was this girl that I dated a few years ago, and she, in a way, she is a symbol of Carlton's game plan. So we date for 2 weeks. The 2 weeks I have that hope, and then after the 2 weeks she turns me down and says, "No, I'm not into you." It's like Carlton. The first 2 weeks, that first half, they come out, they do these, they're on a roll, you know. The team players seem to be connecting, and you know, people, you know, there's like that excitement, and then there's that second half that there's the false hope again.
They give you just enough to believe that things are going to change or they're going to be into you. Or I get it. Or when you're in one of those relationships and it's starting to break down, and it's behaviors on either end, and you're like, no, I'll change, and then they change for a little bit, and then make you believe like, no, the turning point's around the corner, and then the behaviors just go back to what they were. And I could definitely feel that.
Yeah, it's like symbolic too. So the week after she turns me down, that was when we played the Giants in 2024. That game when we were up, that seems to be like when we had the second half fade out begin. It's like all symbolic. I'm gonna keep her real name anonymous, but we'll call her Caroline. CAR, like Carlton. I'm calling it the curse of Caroline. And next time you see me on a chat will be the day that I'm convinced that the curse of Caroline is over, like with Melbourne and the curse of Norm Smith.
What's the current status of you and Caroline right now?
We're kind of mutual. I'd say we're mutual acquaintances.
It sounds familiar.
But yeah, I would say the player who I felt definitely was the main reason that we almost lost was Lewis Young. I've definitely been most critical of him personally throughout the past few years. I've never, I think it's a bit of a shame. Like I thought, like say 21, 22, he had, no, not 21. Was it end of 21 that he joined us from the Bulldogs?
Yeah, so his first season for us was 2022, Michael Voss's first year.
Yeah, I thought he definitely showed potential in that year, and he's sadly, I feel like he seems to be kind of, I don't know, maybe says something with his confidence or something, but it could be. I mean, he's definitely shown promise as a forward, so maybe he's not fully completely useless. Maybe he just needs to be put somewhere else. I definitely don't think that a defender is his best position. I'm kind of wondering, do you think that with Harry Mackay, we should maybe keep him in the wing? Because whenever he's on the wing, or he seems to take on the contest more. And
I
then
think, yeah, I actually just think, like the rest of the team, it might be not a popular thing to say. They just got to keep at it.
yeah,
It's all they can do. You got to keep at it. Got to keep trying it. You got to keep trying it. You got to keep going. You got to improve the method. The method has to improve, no doubt about it. But they have to keep showing up and keep trying to do it differently.
yeah, definitely.
So anyway, mate.
Do you
Yep.
ever watch? Sorry, just one more thing. Do you watch the Ankle Sore podcast?
I've seen a bit of it.
Do you ever watch Carlton Club Corner?
Not anymore.
His video, he's a funny one in my opinion to watch if you ever want to feel better about a performance or a loss.
Yeah.
The way he reacts to the games and stuff.
Yeah.
He'll probably have a video up tomorrow. He's always
Yeah. Well, mate.
Yeah,
thank you very much
for calling in. Keep up the good work, Tez.
Thank you, Joseph. See you, mate.
See ya.
All right. Let's go to BK. Hello, BK.
Hey, mate, how you going?
That was tough, mate. It was a hard yakka.
Oh, the hardest, mate. Get your high vis on. Just a quick question. Is this a safe space for me to have a positive take on the game? Because I'm worried about what those comments are going to say to me, mate.
Mate, the comments will be here, whether you're positive or negative. But yeah, of course, you can say whatever is on your mind.
No, obviously, mate, just being a bit of a smart aleck. Yeah, no, I am one of those people who's like, yeah, win's a win. I agree with your take that there was so much change in the offseason that you just have to give a clean slate. Like, I think it's frankly a bit disingenuous not to. Like, what are we doing? We had 7 coaches or whatever it was turn over 9 players, and we're going to act like it's the exact same team. I'm like, nah, I'm not really here for that, frankly. Yeah, there's some similarities. I actually completely agreed with something that you said earlier. I don't think it's a lack of effort in the second half. I think we burn up so much emotional energy on our anxiety, and it catches up with us as the game goes on. I don't think it's fitness. I don't think it's a lack of effort. I don't even think it's like, to me, the main issue in our fall aparts last year was like long bombing down the line, super slow play, or just like hacking out of contest. I feel like this year, a lot of what has plagued us is almost trying to go too fast, not knowing when to change gears, especially in the forward half. Like, I remember there was a play in the last quarter of, us having a decent build-up, and the second we got about 70 out, bang, launch it in as fast as you can to 5 Richmond guys. And I don't know why we do it, but I do have a solution potentially, and I don't think anyone's going to like it.
What's that?
Unfortunately, the solution to when people are traumatized by things, and I genuinely think that that's sort of what's going on with the players, they're working through their scars of the past. The only real way to get over it is exposure. And I think this is something the fans could probably afford as well. Like, I watched it from home. The second that Fogarty hit the behind post, you could hear the gasps through the television. And you and I have actually discussed this before. I'm not saying that it's not reasonable to have a disappointed sort of reaction or whatever it is. It's more just the only way to get over your fear of failure, your fear of retribution, your fear of whatever it happens to be, is to slowly get re-exposed to it and realize that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. You can get over it. The only way for this team to go forward, unfortunately, is straight through the mire, straight through the tunnel, whatever metaphor of choice you have. I know it's really uncomfortable for the fans, but this is where when people go, oh, how can you make a joke about that win? I'm like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry about it. You have to go far out. Thank goodness we got out of jail on that one, because otherwise, you're fucked. Like you're honestly just fucked in a doom spiral of we're shit. And then when you finally get a win, nah, we're still shit. Everyone's got to get sacked. I just wanted to shout out two people that were in the chats. I was reading them as I was waiting. I think it's Marsa and Trav. Thank you for your positivity. Love to see it. Love to see it. Would you mind if I had two more little points?
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks, mate. One on Fogs. I feel fucking badly for the guy because I don't say this lightly. I think he's borderline unplayable just because of his goal kicking. He is such an excellent pressure forward, with the exception of the conversion. What I'll say though is in 2023, his conversion wasn't that good either. Like you can go and look it up. I'm pretty sure he kicked under 50% at goal, but he was bringing enough other things and enough other guys were chipping in. I really feel for him because if he can get over that issue, I think he'd be a really serviceable role player for us. I'm not saying a superstar, but like, could he be a goal a game, couple of tackles a game guy? Yeah, I think he really could. The other one I wanted to say is a general point on the defense / Lewis Young. I'm kind of sick of David King because I got to be honest, between you, me, and everyone watching, I think he fakes his voice. I think he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm going to talk like this because I was a soft winger." But in any event, saying the repeated we need to change Lewis Young on Wiedering, I don't actually agree with that because I think you and I might have discussed this previously. I want Wieders to be able to play as the second. I think that in an ideal world, having him play the Jeremy McGovern role is the fit. Lewis Young is not a long-term solution, but the calculus that I think the team made was, yeah, he's going to give up some marks. They're all 40 plus out on the boundary, having hard shots at goal. Like, yeah, he probably could have snagged a couple of them, but that's the deal you go with. You go, we'll control the center of the 50 with Wieders being loose, but we're going to force them as wide as possible. And I think that's not a horrible, sort of thing to say. But in any event, the other thing that I want to say is I don't really agree with the criticisms of the defense tonight. We held them to 71 points. Going into the game, if I said, Tez, we've held them to 71 points, you'd assume we won 10 times out of 10 times. The issues lie in the forward half. That is the work in progress. And I think we all knew that coming into the season. Hopefully in 5 to 10 weeks' time, we can see some notable improvement. If we haven't, at that time, maybe, the more negative discussions can start with a bit more earnestness behind them. But otherwise, yeah, rough way to get your first win. Take a win, get to the bye. I'd rather learn lessons in a win than a loss. Let's just keep rolling and hopefully the form picks up.
Absolutely, my friend. Stack another win against the D's, hopefully, and then away we go. Thank you very much for your pleasant contribution to the chat. I really appreciated it.
Cheers, mate. Well, I'm always one for trying to keep an optimistic spin on things. I'm big on kindness and whatnot. I just think if we want to move forward as a club, if you really can't hack losing, you are allowed to turn off the tally. Like you're rage baiting yourself at a certain stage. But we all come in different shapes and sizes. We're a big tent. Everyone's welcome, but we all got to be able to manage our own stress and stuff. But if you ever need help, sing out. Cheers, Terry.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
Ciao.
Alrighty. Let's move along. Tyler. Hello, mate.
Terry, wow. Just wow. Look, what can you say about that? You looked absolutely friggin' deflated, or even probably coming out of a coma, mate, when you started. Like, what the fuck? What happened with that game?
Yeah. I am a supporter, just like everyone else, so I did feel everything that was to be felt in that game. It was very stressful. It was typical Carlton stress. It's just full of drama and theatrics, and maybe one day, it'll flow.
Just one day, Terry. Just one day.
I thought, I used to say that, and then it did start flowing, but it didn't last for as long as what I would have hoped it would.
No, and we've been having these conversations for a very long time, and Carlton will always be Carlton. But look, the first half, brilliant, absolutely. Yeah, handball chains were great. How we were going inside 50 at some points was good. But then we get to the second half, and you've said it multiple times. Obviously, it is when we turn it over, we are trying so hard to make up for that mistake, and that is true. I think obviously the biggest thing was when how we are turning it over as well. Yeah, okay, we're taking the risky kick inside the corridor at times, which is great. That is what we want to do. We want to be changing the lines. However, when that kick happened, we were either out of place or we just were not looking for the right player at that specific time.
Yeah.
Or we lofted the kick or whatever. It was just either execution or it was poor decision making. And when the ball got turned over, we got punished. Absolutely, Richmond tore us up with how they were running, and that was credit to them.
Yeah.
They're a very good outfit when you look at what they all have in the future. But I reckon the biggest, as I said, the biggest thing that if we hit those kicks, we hit those handballs, but that would have possibly been a goal, or it could have been at least a good entry inside the forward 50. But even when we were inside our forward 50, we weren't taking our opportunities. And so all that effort, all that work, we made it so hard just to get to that point. And when you're not converting, it is, as Pommy said when we were watching the watch along, was it's a momentum killer.
Mm.
And so, but I think probably the one player that I know he had his patches that in the third quarter, but I did like Gov tonight. I thought at times like he had a decent game.
Looked dangerous early.
Oh, he did, and I thought that was actually a very smart move. I thought that was they were trying to mimic what they did with the three talls under Teague, like having McGovern back in the forward line, and he looked dangerous. He looked really dangerous, and he provided a little bit of height in that forward line, which was really good. I liked Hayward at times, but like everyone's going to talk about Walsh and everyone's going to talk about Jagger Smith. Of course, who wouldn't? They were amazing, but I think also I really did like Ollie Florent. Really, I like his calmness.
Mm.
I really do, and even like how Weering played, Harry Dean, yeah, okay, he's going to be great. He will be a very good player. I just feel like we're missing that little bit of composure, as you said, and I reckon the likes of we miss Newman. We need
him
him
back
back
because
now.
he's a calm presence out. We don't have many
Yes.
coaches out there on the field, and I reckon he's one of them.
Yep.
I think
100% agree with that.
Too, so.
Yep, 100% agree. But look, we'll see. Look, I'm happy. I'll take the 4 points, but you had to breathe you had to let out a breath after all of that. But look, we'll go into the bye, see how we go. Let's reset. Melbourne's up next. I definitely want to watch this Melbourne game. It should be very interesting to see how they're going to come out firing this year. But looking forward to that. And then time will tell. One game at a time.
Yep.
One game at a time.
Good stuff. Thanks, Tyler.
See you, Terry.
See you, mate. All right. Tolls.
Oh, jeez. What a night, eh?
That was some night.
Hey, I think, it is what it is. We took the 4 points. And that's what that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that actually likes footy, but seeing Lewis Young take that mark to ice the game I screamed my head off. No matter how fucking shit we were through the third quarter, 1 goal in a fucking half of footy is terrible. But hey, I think that's the thing that we need to remember. Our window's closed. We are rebuilding again now. We are officially on the rebuild again. And when you're rebuilding, you got to just take the 4 points. I think when we are playing well in our first halves, we look dangerous. We look good. And the more we do that before we get under pressure, the more we will be able to do that when we do come under pressure.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. What do you think of Hudson O'Keefe today?
I think Hutto was good coming back. I think he still, he'll get better and better as we come. I didn't get to see a whole lot of the game. I was working at the MCG.
Oh, okay.
I only got out for the last quarter.
Right. Okay. Well, fair.
But yeah, I like what I mean. We say it. We've said it before. We'll say it again. I love what we see from our number 3s. Harry Dean, amazing. Jagger Smith, goes without saying. But fuck, I'm loving watching. I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying watching Harry Dean. He is an absolute fucking cunt. Like, it takes a special kind of cock to punch on with one of the oldest players in the league in your second game of AFL.
Yeah. He's got that competitive spirit.
Absolutely. And that's the kind of thing that we see. Like, people talk about the Carlton curse, but I want to be a bit more optimistic about it. We've got seven how many new players come in? Hayward, Florent, Ainsworth, they're all coming from successful, strong, gutsy teams.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we think Carlton is going to infect them? I think.
Why do we think Carlton's what? Sorry,
going to infect them with the curse and the pessimism just falling off. I think, of course, they're going to take some time to adjust, but then over time, these new players, they are going to bring the fire and bring the feeling that we can dig deep and win.
All right, well, let's see how we go, mate. Thanks for calling in.
I think, at the end of the day, look, imagine where we would have been if we lost that game.
I know.
We didn't lose that game.
We did.
We won.
We'll take it. Thanks, my friend.
See you later.
Pav.
Terry, how are you, mate?
I'm winding down, but I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I was in bed.
Finally chilled out.
Yeah, I was in bed. Obviously, I have young kids and whatnot, so I've been tired all day. But the only Carlton thing that hasn't stressed me out is probably this. So, so I thought I'll come out in my garage and have a chat with you if I get on. But I don't know what to say. Like, I mean, I felt I didn't feel too happy when we won, but at the same time, I always used to say in the past, take the 4 points and move on. We've done this before. I remember beating Richmond a few years ago by the similar margin, 5 points. So we had that draw with them. It's hard to say. I'm sort of speechless what to say how I feel, but I've got mates as well that are close Carlton mates. They're saying, they're complaining about the board and things like that. I said, how can you complain about the board when, Graham Wright, Chris Davies, Boak, Adam Simpson, and new assistants, they've just come in. It's their first season. You can't judge them after 2 bloody games or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I love Voss. Like, I do have a soft spot for him, but these second half fade outs, they're just really disappointing. You know, that first half I was up and about. I was watching it with my brother, but then, yeah, 1 goal in that second half, it was, I think I hit my coffee table a few times. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts at the moment.
Nice.
And yeah,
I think we'll have to just get a nice big sleep in and just get on with it. Just a stressful night. It was a stressful night at the footy, mate.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I told a few of my mates just sleep on it. Stop blaming the board and Graham Wright and whatever. It's.
I mean, they made the change. Yeah, like you said, changes have been made. You can't say let Graham Wright do his thing, and then 2 games in.
Yeah, that's why I laughed.
Yeah, but I get it. The emotions of footy.
I think it's just them. A lot of people, not just my mates, but there's, you know, like you said earlier, there's hundreds of thousands of Carlton supporters. They all have different opinions, but when some of them are already blaming the board and whatnot, but I think they're blaming them because, you know, they've kept Voss, and, you know, I have non-Carlton friends that are, I can't believe they kept Voss and blah blah blah. But I sort of see, I compare it to what Richmond did with Hardwick. Before they won the premierships, they nearly sacked him, but they changed around him. They changed assistants, a few people on the board, and please don't think I'm saying we're going to win 3 premierships in the next 5 years or whatnot. But yeah, I think they went down that route. But yeah, we'll see. That's all I can say, I guess. Yeah, it's a funny situation, really. Like, you don't know how to feel.
It's true.
Yeah.
Love it, mate. Well, thank you very much for calling in and sharing your thoughts.
Legend, thanks, mate. All the best.
You too.
Talk soon.
Mark?
Call me at the end.
All right. Josh.
Hey, Taz, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
How can I be after that fucking shit that we watched? Like, honestly, I'm trying to be positive. I think the only positive is that Tom Lynch is garbage. But, you know, like, does Michael Voss get a thrill out of not being inept in his job, or what? Like, I know what old mate said before about not putting Wiedering on Tom Lynch, and yeah, okay, maybe throughout the game. But in the last 5 minutes, I was saying to my dad, Tom Lynch is going to kick 2. It looks like he's going to kick 2 goals at some stage. You know, it's not going to be infectious forever. We're lucky he didn't. I mean, at worst, put Harry Dean on him. Harry Dean will probably knock him out. But, you know, like, at least he'll stop him trying to mark the ball. Lewis Young doesn't even seem to really want to do anything. And, like, the fact that Lewis Young gets a game every week, that's a crime against football. How the hell, like, I like him. He's probably the nicest bloke you ever meet. I don't know, I've never met him, but he probably is. But the issue I've had with Voss, ever since that final, including that final, he doesn't seem to want to drop certain players. Right? Like, he dropped, I think Adam Sard was injured, but for example, he dropped Moya, and yeah, Moya didn't have a good game last week. Moya would have done more than half the players today. I know you like Fogarty, but Moya would have done more than Foggy today. Moya doesn't miss that goal in the goal square, you know. I mean, the one good move he did, which I probably think it was probably Travis Boak that did it anyway, was Mitch McGovern to go forward. I saw, when was it? There was a point in the game where they showed Travis Boak in the background, and I don't know. I think he was. I can't read minds, but by the look of it, he was thinking, "What the hell have I signed up for?" You know, like, surely I trust Graham Wright. I do, from what he's good. But the guy before said these new players are going to infect Carlton, hopefully in a good way. I don't believe that. We have infected every player that's come into this club. Like, Adam Sard was probably one of the best players running off half back when he was at Essendon. I wanted him, and probably, I don't know if it's Voss or what, he does barely runs off half back. When he does, he looks like a superstar. but he barely runs off half back, and when they do, they put it on his opposite foot, right? And now he seems to be past it. Yeah, he's a bit older, but Ollie Florent, one of the best kicks I've seen in the AFL in a while, can't hit a bloody target. You know, like that's to start with. But
What
as I
did
said,
work tonight?
what did work? McGovern going forward.
Okay.
I think.
Anything else?
Harry Dean. You know, I would like wish we could ask though what they were thinking. Like I said, they were trying to. They seem to want to play. Same with Sydney. They seem to want to play that handball game through the whole first half, and in the second half, you know, as soon as the other team gets a purple patch, we just bomb it forward. We revert back to the old style of game, which isn't going to work because the only person up forward that can even mark is Harry Mackay, and he's got 3 blokes on him. You know?
Yeah.
Don't want to be negative, but it's just
Don't you?
I see no future for Voss keeping his job. They're not going to give him another contract. Like, you keep coaching like this, what's going to, you know, it's just going to be another wasted season for Cripper, and you know, and for who else is old, Newman, who's I hope we get to see him soon, but I don't know.
I'm
I'm just
hoping he'll be ready to
afraid.
play after he has served his suspension now. So
Hopefully, we see Dirksen too.
he was brilliant today in the VFL. Strong. I think he'll be ready. Whether they go.
Some bloke on SEN was like, "Oh, Lafau killed him in the VFL." I'm like, "If he did." Like,
Nah.
I don't know. But anyway, I just put Lewis Young up forward. Maybe that might be an option if he has to play. I don't know. If he has to play, put him forward. But I liked McGovern there, and I mean, my positive from these 2 games, besides Pitternet, I don't know. He's really gone. Pitternet looks like a gun now. I don't know what's got into it. Maybe he's eaten what De Koning used to eat. But you know, but besides him, look, I like Hudson. I do. I think he's more of a forward. I do. The one thing I think, and this is no knock on Cripper because he's been a star and he is a star, and you know he's not a forward, so you can forgive him where others you can't. But if Paddy Cripps can learn to kick for goal, he's never been able to kick for goal that well. If he can learn to kick from goal, then he'll be a weapon being able to go forward. He just needs to be able to get those set shots. I had no confidence in him kicking those, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're actually the first person to bring up Cripps' set shots tonight. 2 gettable ones. Captain, got to go back. Got to nail them. Got to nail those shots.
I think the final comment will be maybe Peter Dean should take over as coach for the rest of the year. He might fight somebody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, mate.
I'm going to bed now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Lewis.
What do you want me to say, man?
I don't know, mate. What would you like to say?
Oh my god. I think I don't know if I can trust Michael Voss anymore. I don't know if I can ever. I think everyone has said what has to be said throughout the night. The one thing that made Richmond, to me, come back into the game was the midfield battle. Our midfield had no response. I know people blame Lewis Young. I know people blame our defense, especially with Tom Lynch, who was, to be honest, very unlucky on how many chances he got. He kicked 2 goals and 7 behinds. Very unlucky with him. But the fact that our midfield, did not stand up under pressure shows the fact that we do not know what to do or how to cope under pressure. It's like the players are so stuck on playing the old way. So in the first half, you go on and play this new brand of football that everyone has encouraged you, that it's a good brand of football to play. And we've seen it in pre-season, and we saw it against the first half of Sydney, which we thought it was good. The fact that Carlton cannot sustain that for 4 quarters, is probably a killer for them. It's a killer for them mentally. It's a killer for them and it's a killer for them on how they want to play the game, because it's like they are showing us that they can play a new game. They can play a new game, modern football, but they go back to their old routines. Because when pressure comes, they are not willing to keep playing the way they want to play in the first half. They want to find something else or probably go back to the old, and that's it. The one thing is I want to say something. The fact that Jagger Smith tore his ACL, and in 2 years in, he's leading the fucking club. He's actually saving Michael Voss's job right now. Because that kid's actually becoming a really good player in 2 years in, yet he's so far showing he's a better player than freaking Fogarty. He's a better player than bloody, so far, all these players that came in and been playing football for longer. I'm just fed up with the same old players getting a game. Lewis Young, I know I said like no more pressure on him, but the fact that he let Tom Lynch kick, 9 scores, is just not good enough. I put Wade Dirksen in, and all the players that they all mentioned, Flynn Young, Wade Dirksen, all those boys, just bring him in. It's just not good enough. And yeah, Harry Dean, he showed some good things. But yeah, I'm just fed up with this club, man. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with this club. I think they killed me. When I was watching the game, after the first half, I was like, you know what? Yeah, great. We're up by 27 points. I just went to myself, bro, I know that Carlton's this decides the game. The third quarter's going to decide. Are we going to freaking play a good brand of football throughout the whole quarters of the game, or are we going to play like shit? And you know what? We played like shit. We kept going back to the way we play. It's always downline kick for hope. Simple as that. It's just pathetic. It's just not good enough. I am done. And you know what? I feel like this is a long night, so Tara, I'm going to move on. You know what? Before I leave, I give this performance a 4 out of 10. I'm not giving it a pass mark. It's just fucking pathetic. And if I don't see a better... And look, here's the thing. When it comes to Melbourne, in 2 weeks' time, if the boys play like they did in the first half against Richmond, they will be in a good lead. But I want to see them, how they respond in the second half, because now we feel like if we are in a good lead in the first half, it's now going to be like, are we going to play a good second half, or are we just going to go back playing shit? And now, the problem is, and I said it before I go, the problem is now teams are now watching us, and they're going to be like, boys, don't worry. Even if we're trained by 30 points, we're still in this game. Because Carlton tires out. Carlton will tire out, and they'll have that moment. We'll have our moment to switch on gear, put the pressure on, and make sure we make them pay when it comes. There you go. That's all I have to say about this game. Disappointment.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Tez. Go Blues, and see you, chat.
Wow. I think we got one more here. One more. It's Mark. Mark is here.
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, I thought for a moment my camera had played up. It feels like you've got a new, rest stream set up, which I'm thinking, wow, here we are. No, here we are. How are you feeling?
I am feeling a lot less stressed than what I was an hour and 53 minutes ago. That game was extremely stressful. Almost feel like it was a loss given what I've listened to for the last couple of hours.
I agree. At the end of the day, we didn't win it. They lost it, considering that conceding 60 inside 50s to a Richmond side with Lynch who's on, 2 amputated legs, and obviously just getting whatever he can get tonight. We're just lucky enough that he didn't kick straight, nor I guess Richmond that again, this is a bit like 2025 all over again, where if we're not flying at half time, we're either holding on for dear life, like we're about to fall off the edge of the cliff, or we're going to get simply powered of what Sydney did last week, you know? I mean, to lead by half a game last week, to lead all game and nearly losing the unlosable. But it's 4 points. It is 4 points, but let's not be satisfied by it. We're basically, at the moment, everybody's obviously said it, we've been saved by 19-year-old Jagger Smith in 2 games, and so far with Walsh in a long 8-year deal, 10-year deal that he's obviously signed. So far, so good, but of course we're not going to get too much into that until he can continue this way for the rest of his career. So, but if there's any other players in particular that I thought were handy, I'd say McGovern up forward, obviously, to another extent was handy. But, yeah, I mean, funny enough, got a fair bit of attention after what I said about Cripps last week, but still he missed some gettable opportunities. And despite his efforts again, look, I don't know. But I'll tell you who's someone that's on the need of watch out, because you probably might get dropped, and that's Ben Ainsworth. Someone like him, it's only 2 games I know, but he's on watch for me. For someone that we picked him up, like with Haywood, Florent, Chessa, and all the rest of our recent new recruits, he just needed to have a moment or two tonight, and he didn't. You know, as they say, you can not have the best game in the world, but you can create a moment. And for someone like him, yeah, for me, he's on massive watch alert. If he can reset from the break that we've got with the bye coming, and then yeah, Melbourne's next, in which we always tend to get him in the close ones. But hey, tonight we got through the probation period, get through the bye next week, and we've still got another 2 more games on probation period, because by the time gather round hits, we need to be 3-1. And if it's as ugly as tonight for the next 2 games, well, we'll take it. But still so much to be working on and sorting out, because we can't be fading that badly in second halves. You just can't. You just can't.
Did you think they faded, or did you think that when you say fade, do you mean like fitness wise? You reckon they faded?
Well, that's the thing, because we're now looking to play a more high speed game rather than the contested brand. So it's how can I put it, Terry? It's 2 ways of how people want to perceive it. We're either looking very explosive, that if we're not putting the scoreboard pressure on early, then we will look flat as tires. Or you try to manifest of what you can early, but then also trying to keep a balance of 2-way running for the second half as well. So, but I actually said even during that second quarter with the family, I'm just hoping we haven't used our petrol tickets already. And funny enough, it was coming to fruition, and we're just lucky enough that Richmond couldn't kick straight. But I'll tell you who will be sleeping okay tonight, but is lucky to be even sleeping right now, Lockie Fogarty. When he missed that absolute sitter, and then to think, oh, here we go. Almost feels like last year deja vu. But what more can I say? Look, you know what? Lewis Young gets a lot of bashing. I also understand it. But you also got to think as well, reliability in a player comes so in handy. So despite what he cops, just remember, he's playing at the highest level than any of us. And look, I get it, you know. But anyways, got to go to sleep because I'll start in the next few hours. But that's all right. I'll give it to a few Richmond wannabe flogs. I mean, yeah, you had your flags, but at the end of the day, hopefully Lynch will have no legs after this, because we're oh, seriously, Terry.
It's good stuff. I think you've nailed it, mate.
At the end of the day, mate, the only way it's the Carlton, if we haven't got at least 10 or 20 of our supporters in paramedics after tonight, then you know it's not the Carlton way. It's part of the script.
That's
It's
a
part
good
of the
point.
script.
Love your work. Thanks for calling in, mate.
Fuck off, Richmond. Demons are next, and then hopefully cook up some kangaroo meat on North Melbourne on Good Friday in a few weeks' time. Praise the Lord.
Love your work. Only Carlton.
Can I just start off by saying thank you, Tom Lynch, our best on ground. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. What do you have? 9 shots on goal.
Yep. So he had like one out on the full and one that didn't make the distance.
Trying to think of it now. How many of his shots on goal were on that wide angle?
A lot. A lot of us
A
were in
lot
that
of
pocket.
them. Yeah. Yeah.
We were just letting him get out there. There was just so much space on that part. I was sitting right there in front of that pocket. There was so much space there. I don't know. Like at one point, like literally, I forgot who it was. I think it was Mansell was just open there by himself, and it was like late in the third quarter. I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
Man, I really like what Richmond are building. They're building such a well-rounded team. There's no standout super duper star. Like they've all got tricks and they all just pop up. They're going to be a major problem soon. They're not far away.
yeah. I mean, they're giving us tough games, but we love giving them. We love giving them. Bro, can I ask you a question, Terry? I haven't watched the fan because I just got home. I literally just got home from the game. What's the reception been like? Are we shit or are Richmond good?
No, the reception's been. You would not know that we won the game.
Ah, sick.
You would not, if you didn't know the result of the game and you watched these fan cams, you would think we lost.
All right, it was pretty bad. It was an ugly game, but like we are. I think people need to temper their expectations about where we are as a team. I think we're around like a Richmond, like a North, like a Melbourne. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Like Richmond isn't a bottom 3 club anymore. Like they'll push up maybe 15th, 14th, 13th. That's where we're at. Right? I think our ceiling, and I've seen 2 games now, right? And maybe it's too early to make a call, but I think our ceiling's 10th. I think best case, everything goes right. Injuries come back. You know, we get Haynes, Frankie Evans back in. We'll be 10th if we're lucky. So, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I get it's an ugly game. You don't want to win against Richmond against 4 points, but that's where we're at. That's the team we are. And instead of like sitting here and like moaning, and it's just where we're at. You just got to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, we needed to make brutal changes. We needed to make sure that the future of the club was shored up, and you only have to look at the fact that we're going to have 3 top 3 picks 3 years in a row to kind of know like what phase of the club we're in right now. I had a conversation recently with someone, and I was saying like, oh, thank goodness we didn't pay for Dan Houston when we did, and thank goodness we ended up going down the other route and getting the pick and taking Jagger. Having said that, what that meant was that we shut the door on that window and we looked ahead to the future. And this is where we are.
Yeah. There's a guy in the chat, Bondoopolis. I don't know how to say your name. I don't accept mediocrity. Bro, we're just a mediocre team right now. It's just where we're at, bro. You can not accept it. You can be like, nah, we should be winning flags. We're not there.
We're not going to win the flag this year.
No.
It's
Probably
just
not for a
gonna
couple of
happen.
years. Yeah, no, it's just we're not there. I think a lot of supporters just need to get their head around that. We're not there. Right? We're not going to be there for a while. We got rid of Charlie Curnow, who like it's like Voldemort. I didn't want to say his name, right? Charlie Curnow, TDK, Jack Silvani, and we got in Ainsworth, Hayward, Florent, right? Those were the big signings. Then Reedy and Chesser. That's not like for like. We downgraded. Like as much as we can sit here and cope and be like Curnow shit, and we downgraded on all of those players, right? Like we replaced. Who do we replace? Who plays now instead of Jack Silvani? Lewis Young.
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally it would be, O'Farrell and Harry Dean, essentially.
Yeah. Harry Dean's good, by the way. He's got that dog in him.
He's got that dog in him. Yes, he does. Yeah,
He's giving it to Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lynch is a flog, by the way. Pushing an 18-year-old into a goalpost and then flopping when he comes over and runs
How's the flop on him? Yeah, what's that? Oh, man. Yeah.
It's the funniest thing. He walks around, chest puffed out, and then he does that. Sick, bro. Sick.
You know what? I get it. It's frustrating and it was stressful tonight. What I find sad and a little bit disappointing, but I do understand the stress of the evening, is that we're not spending 2 hours tonight absolutely roasting Tom Lynch, the
Yeah.
fucking flop for kicking
Yeah.
2 goals 7. We're out here
100%.
saying, "Thank you, Tom Lynch, because we won the game." We're not absolutely we are not. How are we not roasting Tom Lynch? How? Isn't that
Because
what
I'm genuinely
we're meant
thankful.
to be doing?
I'm actually thankful. I'm like, thank you, bro. Like, wholeheartedly, Terry, we kicked 1 goal, what, 8 in the second half?
Yeah, 1 goal. 9 goals, 9 at halftime, I reckon it was.
Yeah. And it
So
was 10
what's that?
goals,
We
15.
kicked 1 goal 6 in the second
1
half.
goal, 6. Bro, and I'm pretty sure they kicked 4 goals, 11. Bro, we would have lost that. If he kicked straight, they were coming. Momentum was on their side. Like, we shut off halfway through the fourth quarter. Like, Kemp went back. Fogarty went back. We went into defensive mode with like a 1 goal lead. And I'm like, bro, like, not again. I got flashbacks to last year. I'm like, we can't hold on to this lead. No club in the league can hold on to a 1 goal lead for 10 minutes. No one. Especially when momentum's against you. And especially all hoo-ha we have, like, oh, we fade out in the second half. Can I ask you, by the way, your opinion on is the fading out after halftime mental or physical?
I think it's mental.
Yeah.
I think we work harder in the second half than the first half, but we're caught. And the reason why I say that is because we turn the ball over and we have to follow up our fuck up to make sure we don't get scored on. And it's more work. People will say, oh, the game style is taxing. I think the turnovers that we commit are taxing as well. And that doesn't get paid anywhere near as much attention. That's what's taxing, because teams will try and punish you quickly off a turnover and you've got to scramble. And then before you know it, you're just in this state of back and forth. And tonight, I mean, Richmond, even their disposal was poor as well. So it was, I mean, I don't know what that's like for people who were neutral tonight. I would think that you're talking about that being an ugly game. But yeah, I think they get overwhelmed. They feel the pressure, and then the fans feel the pressure in the stadium, and then there's stress everywhere. There's stress everywhere on the field and off the field, and it shows.
You can hear it. You could hear the gasps when like Fogarty missed, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I've never heard a stadium that it wasn't dead. It was just, you could tell everyone's just shitting themselves.
Yep.
Like, everyone. Like, and it's hard to hear silence, but it's not silent. You can hear like people heavily breathing and like biting fingernails. It's weird. I got a follow-up question. So you say it's the turnovers, which I agree. I think we work really hard as a team physically. Are the turnovers a result of us playing a game style that we're not good enough at yet, or are we trying to be something that we're not?
I don't know. I don't know. What I saw tonight, and then maybe I'll have to watch the replay to be sure about this. When we started at any moment using the width of the ground to open up space further up the field, we would get rewarded by it. And so I just hope when they're reviewing the game that they keep drilling that into the guys. Like, provide an option, widen the ground, create space for your teammates down the field, rather than inviting pressure and then forcing the long kick down the line. Yeah, I've got a few concerns. Like, I'm concerned a little bit about Elijah.
He's been sloppy.
And he's 2 games.
Unlike
He hasn't got his timing's off.
Yeah.
Hasn't really. He's 2 games now. Ollie always tries hard, but he's kicking tonight, man. Really, really let us down.
Yeah.
So we had quite a few guys that were down. I really don't understand how we won the game, if I'm totally honest.
But you know that 15 more inside 50s than us.
Yeah, it was 44 to 60. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Normally we're terrible. Normally we're that team that gets a bunch of inside 50s but can't convert. But this night it was them.
Yeah. Someone in the comments here saying about Cripps. I mean, okay, he missed the first one. He missed the second one. Got to kick one of them just to steady the ship. That's what we lack. When the moment arrives and someone has to steady the ship, we just haven't got it. Whether it was Fogarty, whether it was Cripps, can't recall some of the other misses that we had, but we just don't have the ability to steady the ship. A goal steadies the ship, relieves a little bit of pressure, lets us breathe.
Yeah.
And you saw when Zach Williams kicked his one, how much it relieved the pressure on the game.
100%. It's concerning. I don't know. Like, we play. I'm not a fan of Elijah off halfback. I don't think that's where he should be playing. I don't think it suits him. I know on paper he's a great kick and he's elusive and whatever. I don't think he should be playing there. I'm not sure why we moved him from his position, which is high half forward. I don't know if Ainsworth played the Jesse Motlop role today, by the way.
Yeah, Ainsworth, I think, was a bit overawed by he just couldn't get into the game. He just could not get into that game, no matter what he tried to do.
The way he played, he can't get into the game. That style of like game, the role he plays as like the high half forward, small, but then runs back to the because he played the bro. I'm pretty sure 80% or 60% of his touches were in the defensive half.
Wow.
It's the Jesse Motlop role. Like I went through all of Motlop's heat maps last year. It was the exact same heat map, bro. Like I'm telling you now, it's the exact same role.
Yep.
If Motlop couldn't do it and Ainsworth couldn't do it, right? Ainsworth is a senior player and he's been around the block. That means the role can't work. Either the role can't work or it's not suited to those players. Because Ainsworth played a good game last week, and he didn't play that role.
He was one of our best last week. He was. I would think he would be better for the run. I remember when I spoke to him in the interview the other week, and I asked him, "What's the biggest crowd you've played in front of?" He said it was the final against Freo, and I recall last year, Nick Haynes' first game playing in front of 75,000, 80,000 last year. I recall Blake Acres' first game when he played for the club after coming from Freo. He dropped that mark that was the draw. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing. If 100%. You come and play, it's a thing. It takes an adjustment.
Yeah. 100%.
But then you got Harry Dean, who just waltzes in and plays in front of 75K.
But I think Harry Dean grew up in Melbourne. I think it's a Melbourne thing. I'm not sure if. But when you play for interstate clubs, like it's different. It's like we both went to Sydney last week. The difference between the crowds. But Sydney should have been up and about. Can you imagine if Richmond were up 10 goals on us? You wouldn't hear the end of it.
No.
But in Sydney, it was pretty quiet, and that's not a diss on them, and they beat us by 10 goals. But it's a different atmosphere here. It's like before the bounce, like in between quarters is different. It's a different ball game. Like I understand like why athletes want to move. Yeah, it's full on. It's war. It's proper war. I love it.
It's so good.
I was so happy to be back in Melbourne at the MCG. I love the SCG. It's my first time going. It's beautiful, but like nothing beats the MCG.
No. The intensity of it. And do you think with a couple of nights sleep, we end up looking at that and not to say it's a positive, but do we end up realizing that it was a win?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like that now. I've accepted that it's a win. I'm not over the moon. Like I'm not going to be like, fuck yeah, we're back.
Yeah, of course.
20. But like, if you think about it, we're worse than last year, correct? As a squad. I just named the 3 players.
Yeah, logic.
We lost against them last year.
We did lose against them last year.
And this year, I mean,
with Silvani and Kerno and DeConey.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we're better. We're on the up.
Fuck, I didn't even think. Yeah, I haven't even thought of it like that.
Like we lost the exact same way. It was we won this time, but we would have lost the exact same way if we lost this time.
Yeah.
So,
hey, did Walsh get hurt? Did he go off in the third?
I think he just stuck on the bench. It happened in the Sydney game as well.
Okay.
He gets stuck on the bench. In the Sydney third quarter, he was on the bench for I think 11 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we're managing him. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But no, he was great. Him and Jagger, bro, beautiful.
Yeah.
Jagger.
Yeah.
Jagger had 16 touches in the first quarter.
We've just got to get to season 3 of Jagger. Basically, we've just got to wait till we get there.
Yeah.
So
Jagger, Walsh, Cripps. I know Cripps is on the way out, but they all had great games. Don't give me hope, bro. Don't do that. No. Zach Butters.
I'm sorry. Well, we're not winning the flag this year. It's just not happening.
I don't know. Where do we like go? What's your okay? Obviously, we have Melbourne next after the bye. Then we have North, right? And let's say we win those 2 in like a convincing manner. What do we do? Like I'm really lost of like the expectation of the season now. Like I'm happy to take wins as they come, but
same. I honestly, and this is just what works for me. But honestly, it's just keep moving.
Yeah.
Like try not to get stuck in the mud. Try not to like crash out to crash. Everyone, we're all going to crash out at times, but like just keep moving. They're going to have to make a really big choice on the coach at some point this year, whether it's as in, well, basically it's do they extend him or do they not? So that's the big decision of the year because we've eliminated the whole Sam Walsh speculation, thankfully.
Yeah.
Like, thank God he signed. Oh my God.
Can
Oh
you
my
imagine the
God.
conversation now?
Oh
If he didn't
man.
resign.
Thank goodness he signed because I think it's very hard to we oftentimes look at like what's wrong,
Yeah.
but I really think we should be grateful that Sam Walsh re-signed because I imagine having everything that's happened tonight, the frustration, the stress of the night, didn't play well, all of that, got the win, yes, got smashed last week, and we don't know about the coach, but we also don't know about Sam Walsh and if he hadn't signed yet. So I'm glad that we're not having to deal with that.
Yeah. I
And the
mean,
list is going to have a massive shake-up as well. It's pretty clear.
100%. 100%. I mean, like Mitch McGovern surprised me tonight. It's pretty good as a forward. I felt like he was one of our most dangerous forwards when he was actually up there.
I like it, and I think if Cowan and Carroll are in the team, I kind of like Mitch McGovern as the forward.
Well, I think our forward line's not in trouble. I don't trust Harry. I don't know if I'm a hater.
I know, man. I've tried to back him. I can't defend that, man. He goes to ground. I don't get it.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
like it's a choice. He goes to ground so easily.
Yeah, bro, he's 6'10". Like, I don't want to. Like, again, I don't want to be that guy. I don't even know if this is a personal attack, but he's the softest big man I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like, it's.
Like, there's no other key forward in the comp that flops like that other than Tom Lynch, but he's a flog and he does it on purpose.
Sometimes players do it when they're at the end of their career, like they get a little old and they try and draw free kicks because the game's gone past them. I mean, this is the prime of Harry's career, but maybe he needs to also adjust back into this whole situation of it's not Charlie's not here anymore. So he, maybe he needs to adjust to it too. Bottom line, he's kicked 2 goals too. Had 4 shots on goal.
Yeah, but they were all in the first half. I'm sick
They
and I don't
were.
want to give any player that out, bro. He had 2 touches
Yeah.
in the second half, or 2 or 3 touches in the second half.
Did he really? Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
nowhere to be found. He was nowhere, and it comes in a time where we have no one in the forward line.
Harry's us. Harry is Carlton.
Yeah.
He's such
Straight
a
up.
confidence player. He's literally Carlton.
And he missed that first one. Remember, in like he had the first shot of the game, and he sprayed it, and I was like, fuck, he needed that. But like, I don't get it, confidence player or not. You need to step up. Like, you're a professional footballer. I get it. But it's your forward line, bro. We've gone all in on you. We literally have gone all in on you.
Yeah.
It's you and Kemp. Kemp cannot be that guy. Shout out Kemp. I think he played all right today. I think he does well.
I'm actually stunned that Kemp has come back so early this season. I thought he would be out for longer with the Achilles.
Yeah. Well, he went down round 5, round 6 last year.
5. Yeah.
So, but like, again, I think he does really well as a second tall. I think he does his role perfectly as a second tall. Like, he draws the defender, he'll mark it every now and then, have a couple of shots on goal. That's what you want from a second tall, like a not key forward. And then we have Pitto coming in. He kicks some goals. He's sick, by the way. Pitto has had like a career rejuvenation.
Yeah, he's so fit, man. I think he's lost a little bit of weight. He's a bit leaner, and he's covering the ground. What do you have? 13 possessions, 25 hitouts, kicked a goal.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's him. Hutto was pretty good. He played backline, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw that. In the first half, he played a lot of like
interesting
time in the backline. So, I mean, I prefer him to Liam Reedy. I think he did way more than Liam Reedy did last week. But again, it's also a very different opponent. I think we got to be careful in comparing like who do we bring in for Moya? Who came in?
We
for
brought in Carroll, Cowan, O'Keefe, Facade, Moya, and Reedy.
Okay. So
and
whoever
Moya played pretty well today in the VFL. So did Flynn Young.
Yes. So I mean, we got to be careful and be like Moya was shit last week, and it's a different opposition, right? Like, bro, I reckon we played the exact same as we did against Sydney. I think we had a great first half, faded in the third. That third was ugly. We just didn't play a team that punished us. And we got not lucky, but
well, we got lucky. We definitely got lucky.
Easy.
We got lucky.
Yeah. I don't like that phrase. I think people make their own luck. Harvey Specter from Suits.
They do. We worked hard.
Yeah, we always work hard.
We do work hard. We don't work smart. We work hard. We don't work smart.
Yeah. Do you think these 3 guys coming in now, I think it's Haynes, Newman, and Frankie, do you think they make a big difference?
I think Newman's a big difference. Not because I think he'll come in and have 30 touches, but he'll be a coach out there.
Yeah.
And I
Yes,
think we
he'll
need some
settle the back line.
direction. Yeah, like someone who wants the ball when the pressure lifts. I think we've got a lot of guys that don't want the ball when the pressure lifts.
Yeah. No, we don't have
So,
anyone like that. No one calls for the ball. Like it used to be Elijah last year or the year before. Sorry, I can't think of a player that I'm like, fuck, you can get it in their hands when the ball's on the when the game's on the line.
well, I know Lewis Young has copied a bit tonight. I liked that they went with Lewis Young on Lynch because I thought, great, let's get Wiedering opened up. Let's get his game going. And it didn't happen. Credit to Richmond, but Wiedering had the opportunity tonight, I thought, with the Lewis Young on Lynch matchup to really hurt Richmond. I think he's got a good kick on him. I don't think we saw him be a threat with his kicking at all tonight.
No. Do you think because we play a zone defense, right? Well, we don't play man on man anymore. Like it's something I've noticed. We play a lot of everyone stays in their position and players come in and out. I don't think we're suited for that as a club. I don't think we're good enough for that. I think that requires a lot of communication, and I think that's why that pocket where Lynch kept kicking it from was so open all the time. I really think we're trying to be something that we're not. I really think that the game, and yes, I know the game's evolving and whatever, but you also want to play to your players' strengths. Like Ainsworth playing that Jesse Moult role, Fogarty being in the back line. Like Fogarty, bro, like I don't think he's a terrible footballer. I just think the role he's playing right now, he was always a pressure forward. Like if you look back in 23, he played the exact same role, but we were just tracking better. But we weren't so defensive in 23. We weren't so defensive in 24. We lost it last year. We lost our chaos ball and like kind of like X Factor. We traded in for defense. Like, oh, we're gonna play zone defense, 18-man defense. We're gonna get back on transition. We're gonna transition on defense. And then it's not us. It's actually just not us. There's nothing worse. Like I'd rather play an outdated style than play like something we're not.
Yeah, I think just with the makeup of the team we've got right now, I mean, Cripps, Hewitt, these guys, they're contested bulls.
Yeah.
So we're not going to play like Sydney. No. We're just not. We don't have the players to play like that. The question is, how far do you swing down that way before it's too much? Like, what's the balance? That's the question.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to figure out. But it's gonna be a long year. Like again, I don't expect anything, but I also do want to win some games. I want to enjoy going to the football. Like that was the big thing for the practice game for me, and I know it's just a practice game, but like that Geelong game at Icon was fun. I enjoyed that game. Like we didn't win by much, but like it was just a fun experience. Like we didn't fade out. Nothing really major happened. Like there was nothing to complain about. I just want to, even if we lose games, and I can't believe we're back at honorable losses. We're back in 2019 or 2021. We're back here.
We are back here.
We're back here. But like, I want to see Harry Mackay compete. I want to see like Walsh and Jagger do well in the midfield. Like I just want to see us not lose our minds all the time, not fade out. But I'd rather kick like we kick 10 goals this game. I'd rather kick 2.5 goals every quarter than fucking 9 in the first half, then 1 in the second. Like that's all I want to see. I don't think that's asking for too much.
Yeah.
I don't think that's asking for too much. I don't know. Maybe it is. We just gotta be stick fat, stronger together. All right.
Love your work, bro.
Thanks, Sarah.
See you, man. Danny.
Kerry, it's been a minute. How are you?
It has, man. I'm good. How are you? What are we? It's 12 past 1 in the morning. The Blue Baggers are still going, mate.
Gotta keep it short. No, it's nice to see you, man. I love the new long hair. Suits you.
Yeah.
I haven't told you, but now it suits you. And your off season was pretty good as well. Probably better than Carlton's, but good on you, man. About the game, far out, man. Doesn't it feel like a continuation of the 2025 season? Be honest.
Yeah, I mean yeah. Minus so far the loss to Richmond round 1, thankfully. But yeah.
Yeah, just terrible, man. And I'm just gonna touch on a few points. Just with Harry, I think with Harry, he just doesn't like the bright lights. So when Charlie was there, he was always like, okay, Charlie's going to get the best defender, and I'm going to get the second best defender, and I'm going to go up the ground, get my marks, get my confidence up, have my relief time in the rock, and then I'm going to kick some goals that are going to come my way because Charlie is the best defender. So he was always banking on that. It was never Harry's forward line. It was always Charlie's forward line. Let's just establish that first. So I understand that obviously we need to distribute the load and all that stuff. And it's good. And I don't believe, and I don't agree with that too. It's not that we disagree on much, but saying that we are trying to be something that we are not, we have to be that. We have to bite the bullet, and we can't be contested bull team again. We can't be doing that. We've seen that 2021 probably would win you 13, 14 games in a season, but it doesn't happen anymore. And that's what I'm saying.
And how do we change that when we've got contested ball midfielders?
We have one thing. I know that we can't bench John Nichols medal winner in George Hewitt, but I feel like he should have less of the game time, Terry, and Cooper Lord should have more of the midfield time because he has the run and carry. We need to have more run and carry players who can actually bounce from the midfield. What happens is once we get the first access of the ball, and that's what happens in the first half. First access in the midfield, we get out the center bounce, and there we go. And we look like $1 million. As soon as the other teams, and it's literally 2025 season, they change their game plan. We had one goal, Terry, in the second half against Richmond.
Yeah.
You can give Vossi, Gary Ablett Jr., you can give him Jeremy Cameron, you can give him fucking Buddy Franklin, anyone. He will still do the same thing. You've seen it, Terry. Okay, maybe the sample size is too small right now, but what we saw is, yes, we look very flashy in our preseason games. We play, our ball movement is different, and we play our game that we want to play, fast game and short kicks and all of that stuff. But as soon as the pressure dials up, we revert back to our old habits. Ollie getting chased down by 3 Richmond players when he was just trying to think, where should I distribute the ball from the wing in the last, I think, 7-8 minutes. Then when it comes to Lewis Young, I swear to God, Lewis Young, I think when he gets his paycheck, he doesn't grab it, he just punches it in the air. Because he fucking...
You know what I love about Lewis? He copped it all night, and then he took the strong mark because he just spoils everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, game on the line, he actually went up for the mark and took the mark.
He did.
Which, make that make sense.
Yeah, man, Terry, far out, man. I feel, see, the thing is, even Hayward, Hayward was playing his halfback in the last quarter. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? I understand we have to ice the game and all of that stuff, we 11 points up. But come on, there was no one in our forward line at the end. And that's Richmond, Terry. If you want to play that game, you have to stick to that game plan. That's what I think I was speaking to Tommy. He said the same thing. Lose, but just show something that you stand for. And then Vossi comes in his press. I don't think if you watched it still. And he's like, do you guys want to be the coach today and answer all the questions to all the people in the press? And just takes that makes a joke like that. But tell you, man, I don't know how more of this I can watch because truth be told, I like watching footy, right? I just like watching footy. I'm more of a footy fan than I'm a Carlton fan. But come on, you can't enjoy that shit, bro. It's so taxing to watch, bro. It's unbelievable. Seriously.
I get that, but I've been hearing you and I've been hearing many people say that to me on these fan cams for a number of years now. I don't know how much I can watch it, and then they tune into the next game.
Man. It's your team.
I know how much more you can do. You can do at least one more game.
I don't know, but you know what, Terry? That's the main. See, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know, was he out, was he in? I'm not a fan of Vossi. And if we see that in the next 2 games, Terry, North Melbourne and Melbourne, they're both winnable games. And if we see first of all, I think we should just get wins. I don't even know if I'm going to get a win against North Melbourne. But if we get wins, I think we need to make a few changes. We need to get Lewis out, Young out. And I saw that you obviously were streaming the game during the day. I was working. I saw you were live for the practice game for the VFL. And you said that Wade Dirksen played really well. Yeah. So might as well just have him in the side. Blake Acres, I hate his kicks. Man, he kills us with his kicks. And you've seen that. We've seen that last season, the season before that. I don't know if you would get him in for Chessa. But if, I don't know, you watched him, was he good in today's game?
Who?
Blake Acres.
He was good today. Yeah, he was.
He was
good today. Yeah, he was Blake. He had moments where he was in space and didn't hit the kick. He had moments where he was in space and he hit the kick. There was a passage of play in the fourth quarter, I think it was, like back to back, open space, had time, and he tried to hit his teammate on the lead, and the kick was poor. And the very next entry inside 50, he got it again, same position, maybe a little bit further out, but he weighted the kick perfectly, like it was a perfect kick. So it's, you take that. But the thing about Blake that he showed today, which I'm really glad they didn't rush him back into the team, was, when he's at his best, he's running and covering defensively, and he's that goalkeeper. He had a lot of those possessions in the back half where Richmond had 1-on-3s and he would win it, and he was, he would save a goal. So, from that point of view, he looked good. And look, a lot of people will watch the game and think, oh, well, it's only what you do with ball in hand. But he does a lot of good things without the ball in hand.
Yeah.
But obviously, the counter to that again is because we're so poor with ball in hand, we force ourselves to not have the ball, because when we have it, we can't use it clinically enough.
Terry, what do you think? Like, just quickly, I know you have to go, but what do you think is there probably $1 million question? What is the reason of our fade outs in the second half? Like, what is it? You think?
It's all here.
Like, is it with the players? Like,
It's
or
all
is it
here.
the coaching group?
It's all here.
It's unbelievable, man. Seriously,
Who's the best coach in the league?
McRae, I guess.
McRae?
Yeah.
Do you think if McRae was coaching tonight that the boys would have more composure?
I don't know. The simple answer is no, but I don't know. I don't know what language gets spoken in. Like, he's such a good motivational speaker. I feel like, was he? Did you see like Tom Mitchell in the Ball Magnets podcast with Will Hayward and Ollie Foran? And they were saying like you would want to run into a wall for Vossi and stuff. He's a good speaker, but when it comes to the nuances of the game, like, I don't know, Terry, man, I don't want to be a broken record and say the same things. Like, imagine that we won the game and I'm here ranting like a fucking stupid person at 2 a.m. in the morning or 1 a.m. in the morning, and you won.
Hey man, that's what the fan cams are for, I guess. You'll let it out.
Oh man, it's all right, Terry. But we get a couple of weeks, and maybe I don't. So, last question: how many games do you have to see of Vossi for then you to say, you know what, we gotta turn the page on this one? How many more games do you have to give him to see something to convince yourself that maybe Vossi is the answer?
Is the answer?
Vossi is the answer. How many games do you have to see to make a decision on Vossi? Let's just
I need to see the full season and how we play and how we improve.
Full season? Or
Yeah,
do you say?
I want to see the full. I want to see the full year.
So you're saying, what if things? I hope it doesn't. Like, touch wood, inshallah. But if things go south, right, with Vossi by round 10, do you think she stays until the end of the season?
I'll ask you the same question, but what if it doesn't go that way?
Yeah. No,
why is the question always framed that way?
Because from what we are seeing, Terry, from so far, from the games that we've seen, a couple of games, only small sample size, but it just looks like a continuation of the last season.
Okay, but
that's why.
Yeah, it does, but
I want to be positive, Terry.
it's not about being positive. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's about being positive. It's about being real. A bunch of changes on and off the field were made. And the issues from last year are not going to be fixed like that in the first 2 games of the season. So we're going to see them a bit more. And the idea is they become less and less as the year goes on. That's the idea. And so you give him a chance. You give not just him, the whole club the chance to, make those issues go away or decrease. And if they haven't, by the end of the year, if we're still talking about these fade outs and this and that, and if we're still talking about that at the end of the year, then you make the call. Okay, didn't improve. Off you go. Get the new guy in. Or make whatever changes you got to make to the list. Add this player. Remove that player. This guy retires. This guy does whatever. It's so simple to me. I don't understand why we're so caught up in making the decision today.
I'm not. I'm telling you where this frustration stems from. It's just from the fact that it would be another wasted season. That's all. If it comes to that.
Okay.
That's all the frustration is.
Do you trust Graham Wright?
I do.
Well, then why are we having this conversation?
Because I'm a fan as well, Terry. I test, man, watching games like that. And so I understand all the changes. There've been major changes in the playing list and also in the backroom staff. I get that, and it would take time for it to show. That's what I'm saying. It's a small sample size. I'm going to see how it goes, but yeah, man, I just hope that we're not playing the same way in like round 7 and 8. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the expectation is that it improves.
Inshallah, man. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
I tell you, have a good night,
All
brother.
right, bro.
Nice
You too.
talking to you. Take care.
See you, man.
Cheers.
All right. I want to watch a few videos here from the post game. Yeah. Give me a moment.
Must have felt sweet come that final siren.
Yeah, bittersweet. We made it harder than what it should have been. But wins are really, really hard to come by this year, and we saw it last year as well. So, yeah, to get the ball rolling, round 1 now, even ledger, it's big boost for us.
Was a win's a win the message post-match or the general feeling in the rooms?
No, we said it's going to be tough, and we thought it'll come down to the very end. They're a young team full of energy, and we just needed to match that, and we thought we did for most of the night, and yeah, we were lucky to get away with it, I think. But yeah, like I said, it's so hard to come by a win these days, and you got to respect them.
For Carlton supporters who might be at home wondering, I guess, what kind of changed from the first half to the second half?
I think it was their pressure, to be honest. Yeah, we were moving the ball pretty well, getting the ball to the outside from contests, and they just brought the heat. And yeah, I feel like we sort of a bit fumbly at times. We didn't make the most of our opportunities when we could have, and in turn, when they kick one back, it seems to be a 12-point swing. So there's times when we can put teams away, and we'll have a look and reflect on that one, especially early on in the third and the second quarter as well. So there's a lot of growth to come. Very exciting by the first half of footy that we played, but the second half, a lot of growth.
I think there were 6 players in the team song, so that's a great feel-good moment. But how important is it to balance that stuff with the honest reflections post-match?
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people inside that circle, which is awesome. But we don't call it like a relief, but like we're satisfied that we've got this win for them and the boys. Now we can keep building from that. In particular, Jagger and Deanie, first-year boys or first season guys. So. Yeah, it's like a building point from now, and we've got the bye now, so we've got 10 days to really reflect and grow and keep getting better. So we're very excited for that one.
What about your role, mate? When did the call come to you that you'd be starting up forward, and what did you make of it all?
Yeah, it came at training. Boss came and spoke to me and said there was a chance I'd go forward. He said there was a chance, but he was lying to my face. I was always going forward. I'm happy to play whatever role I need to for the team, and whatever that is. And tonight, that was both ends. Yeah, I was lucky to be involved in a big passenger play. So
I think it's 99 Carlton games now, mate. So the next one's your 100th in navy blue. You're looking forward to that Melbourne game, despite having a bye in between.
Yeah, I am. I really made sure I wanted to play well tonight to get that 100th. I'm super stoked. If I do get selected and get to play that game, it's an honour and privilege. And there's some incredible names on the number 11 locker, and I'm incredibly proud to hopefully be under them. So we'll see how we go. I've got another 10 days to get through that and find out. But yeah, if it does happen, it'll be unreal.
Wow, I actually quite like the way he framed that. Just the humility. I thought he was all right tonight. Let's give this a shot.
Oh, we're hanging on. We were hanging on, and probably doing it for most of the second half. To be fair, Richmond kept pressing. They own territory on the field. Like you get criticised for, last week not being able to put together a third quarter, and you go away and you reflect on that, and it's clearly something obviously we've got to get better at. But what I did ask our boys to do was to fight. And when teams surge, then your ability to be able to hold, it went longer than what I would like. So there's some reinforcement there. But I said to the guys, when you look at a minus 16 odd in inside 50s, when you're looking at 17 forward centres for us, we couldn't keep the ball in our front half. 30 back of centre turnovers, they were able to live in their front half. Just meant we had our backs to the wall, and so all we could do was fight out of it. So you got to begin somewhere, don't you? So that's where we begin.
Can you explain the difference in complexion? The first half, everything you're doing is so right.
Yeah.
And the unopened 54 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't hear the question.
We'll probably quantify it later. We'll quantify that and go back over it. But clearly we don't execute for long enough. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So, our mode, I think over the last couple of weeks, you've seen a definite style of play. I mean, when you look at this play, you're watching a definite style of play. You can see that. Our ability to be able to keep doing that for that longer period is just something, a question's been asked of us right now. But when we needed to shift modes, we did. When we needed to hold, we did. And that's something to celebrate. So we'll celebrate it.
Is it fair to say you're living and dying by the contested ball, or is that a simplification?
No, not real. Well, if you look at the contested number, we were minus, I don't know what we were, minus 15, 16 in the third quarter, and we're plus 6 in the last quarter. So we're still up against in the last quarter, and we won contested possession. So I think that's sort of at least a shift in the right direction, and maybe probably the reason why we gave us a chance to win. But mate, we're losing way too much content. LDLs were losing, stoppages were losing. We just couldn't get field position, and then when we did it, just come out too quick. So yeah, there's a few things to go away. But when we talk about expectations and we talk about getting wins, we're going to celebrate these. So we're going to make sure that we acknowledge it and get the 4 points. And we've got effectively 2 weeks before our next game. We go into that little bye 1-on-1, and that's makes you feel like we'll have 3 days off, and you're sort of walking in and feel good about yourself.
You touched on it briefly just then in terms of some key statistics. Are those statistics that were a little bit concerning tonight same as the ones last week?
No, they were. No, well, yeah, field dominance. Yeah, it was. We were losing inside 50s, and there was a lot of goals kicked. So, look, I think we just sort of take stock, but I really don't want to take away, what we're able to win tonight. Rivalries are really hard. It doesn't matter where you are on the ladder. I talk to our playing group a lot about this, and you can sort of you can either just be a voice, just a face speaking, or it's like it. But do you listen? Because the reality is that these games, whether it's versus Collingwood, with Richmond, they're hard-fought wins. It's round one. The competition is not settled yet. So to be able to get these sorts of wins are really important in the bigger scope of the season. And tonight was a little bit about our club. We've been targeted throughout the whole week. Both inside and out. And we get away for a win, and I'm just pleased that our supporters can walk away and have a smile on their face and wear their jumper with pride and have their scars around their neck, and we want to keep bringing that, and hopefully there's more opportunities to be able to do that.
Is it pleased or relief?
No, I'm pleased. I'm not sitting in the relief basket. I mean, when you've got 4 minutes to go and you've got no control over what happens next, that's always the difficult part, isn't it, of coaching. But over to the players, and so we ask them to execute. You can judge for yourself whether that was a free kick late or not. I'll let you go to work on that one. But in terms of being able to activate what we needed late in the game, we activated pretty well, and then we obviously were able to get the win in the end.
You said last year they got the win, but may not have deserved it. Tonight they didn't, and you felt they probably did deserve it. Is that a fair assessment?
I can't stress enough: the old's the old, the new's the new. So I don't look like it's 12 months ago. All this sort of stuff and about what happened last year and about this, keep having the conversation, but don't have it in here with me. It's all about now, moving forward. And that's what we're going to continue to reference. So today, we'll treat the game as this game. and the lessons we need to be able to take out of this game that'll help us get better, both from a game style point of view and then also, you know, being able to take our moments when we have them.
Yeah, Michael, from the coaching perspective, you must have been delighted with the game of Jacob Smith tonight, 32 disposals, and we know it was a part of some really key moments in the match.
Yeah, and looking at the other guy on the other side was pretty impressive as well. So they're going to be two very good players for their respective teams. We're a huge fan of Jagger. To think that he's still got things that he's got to work on his game, and as he gets intensity in AFL football, you know, he's going to be some sort of player for us. So really pleased, you know, especially even with Harry, you know, like we're asking Harry to play almost beyond his years for a key position player, and he just keeps showing up. He's just got that Dean competitive gene, and you know, he's such a great mannered person. And he's a real competitor, and so having those two guys in our team is going to help us moving forward, no doubt.
And the flexibility to be able to move Mitchell going forward, and then late in the game, you know, Zach Williams. What was the thought process from your perspective about that move?
Well, we talked a little bit pre as coaches that we will just try and find that opportunity when we do that. We sort of felt like, you know, late with the ball going in long and high, that having Gov back would probably help us a little bit, and just try and find that little bit of spark, that maybe a little bit of X factor from Zach, which he does, and you know, he took the mark and kicked the goal. What a clutch goal that he kicked. So it turned out well. They don't always turn out exactly as you want, but on this occasion, obviously, he was able to take the mark and kick the goal. So it suited both ends for us at that particular time.
You said earlier that the club had been targeted all week. Did you use that as impetus at all? And
No, not really, because our noise, what we want to create is moments inside the four walls, and we want to continue to celebrate our people and all those moments, and we want to bring everyone on the journey with us. You know, we're really fortunate football club in that we know how to energise stadiums. We've got a really passionate supporter base. We want to play for them, and we look forward to every time we come out and play. That we get the opportunity to be able to play in front of our supporters. So I feel like this one's for our club. I really do. It's hard fought. It wasn't exactly the way we want it. There was no bow on it. We had to work for it, and we got it. And I'm just really pleased that for our club that we're able to do that.
Is it harder to, or more frustrating in a way to try to block out that outside noise when it's purely things outside of your control?
And that's why you can. So what do you listen to? And it's, you know, I could stress enough that we've spent a lot of time within our group ensuring that we value what is happening on the inside, and we see what's happening inside, and we've seen the shift in that energy. This meant a lot to our players tonight to be able to get the job done. But we're not looking at it as through rose-coloured glasses either. There's some realness in where we are. We accept that we're not the finished product. We have work to do, but what we won't do is not celebrate when we need to, because you work very hard for those moments to sing that song. You work very hard to have those moments in the locker room together, doing something like that together, and so we will celebrate it, and we won't be taking our eyes off that no matter what anyone says. Cheers. Thank you.
Damn. I want to hear him sing the song. Ooh, yeah. I want to hear him sing the song. I want to see how much energy they sing the song with. All right, hang on. Let's unpack this. Interesting. All right. It's time to wrap it up. We got there. We got through. Carlton flag has more passion than last year. Yeah. Yeah. Scotty, mate. Yeah. Yeah. I'm bracing for a long roller coaster of a year. That's for sure. David, expectation is a killer of progression. Stay humble. I like that. Maybe this meant a lot to the players. They seem genuinely excited to sing the song. Yeah. I've seen enough for lids off. All right. We'll leave it there. We will unpack the rest tomorrow. If you are looking for something else to watch tonight or this morning, it's fucking 1:39 a.m. What are we doing, man? Anyway, that's the VFL report right there. We did the watch along with the VFL boys, so you can check that out. You'll see comments made about Wade Dirksen, Flynn Young, Ashton Moyer. Okay, otherwise that's it. Have a good one, everyone. See you tomorrow for the review. And honestly, I know that was a tough one, but thank goodness we didn't lose tonight, because that would not have been an enjoyable evening. All right. Love you all.